Good evening, gamers, and welcome to Capping Television. My name is the Lampshade22, and with me tonight I have Mikcow. Hey, mate.
Oh, g'day, Snazzy. How you doing, bro?
I have never been better. I am excited to cast the ozfortress Season 29 main semi-finals. This is the bronze match. Bronze? Yeah, it's the bronze match.
Yeah, it's the lower bracket final, as it were. So these two teams have already earned themselves a placement medal, but whether it's going to be that third place or they're going to have a shot at for that number one, that top spot in this season is yet to be determined. And we'll have these two teams will have one best of three to determine who will advance onto the finals and who will be stuck in that third place for their season efforts. So why don't you run us through the three maps we'll be playing on, Snazzy?
Well, mates, tonight we are looking at playing Sunshine Process, and I believe it was Garly Wash. Was that what I heard correctly?
Snake water.
I'm as stupid as it gets, I tell you, man. But yes, Sunshine, Process, and Snake Water. So Process twice, and then Snake Water.
Yeah, what do you think about these picks? I'm just looking at the pick bands now. So we have Cancer, which will be the top team, the top seeded team. They banned Granary first, and then Chicken banning Product after that. And then the next two bans were Gullywash and Villa, which left Sunshine Process and Snakewater. So what do you think about those map bans and those map picks in general? Like you're saying, Sunshine and Process basically are the same map. So do you think that one of these teams is going to be able to carry the momentum that they get on Sunshine, which will be the first map of the evening, into Process, since the two maps are so similar?
Look, it's definitely a possibility. I believe Colin Cantor, which is the full team name, if you want to give it the double word version. They have been showing like some pretty good aggression on a lot of maps. Looking at like the other week that I casted with them, so them banning Granary and Gullywash makes perfect sense the way I'm looking at it. Because Granary and Gullywash are definitely maps that are a bit segmented, and yeah, they reward that sort of aggression, but you can't really turn that aggression all the way on because the points are so segmented, like the chokes are so... I mean, I don't want to say like they're so choky, because that sounds like a bit, tautology, but I do think that it's not really their strong suit. And Chicken banning Product and Villa, I mean... I can understand them wanting to ban Villa. I don't think they really want to play it. And Product, I mean, when you're looking at a team that is, higher seeded than you, generally the better team is just going to be able to take, and I don't want to say like the better team, but you know what I mean. It's just going to be able to absolutely pump you on Via, because they'll just be able to use pretty much everything to their advantage, as opposed to like another map where you can actually get by with like some fragging tactics rather than just like, yeah, we're going to throw everything at them and then win the DM fight,
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree with you on that. Playing against a team that did technically finish higher in the standings in the regular season, then you can be quite daunting. But of course, none of that matters now. They're here in the playoffs, they're here in the lower bracket final, and all that past history doesn't matter. It's whoever is able to perform tonight on these two, or hopefully three maps. So Colin Cantor, sorry, first team on the block. I'll run you through that roster. So we have Jenga and Nerf on the two scout roles. We have Kowski filling in on the soldier along with his fellow compatriot Spartan. We have Default on the demolitions man, and Ambrosio on the healer, the German medicinal man. So that is the roster for Colin Cantor. And why don't you run us down this legendary Chicken roster?
Mate, Chicken in its current iteration is looking like Huffy and raised on scouts. Big Dad, aka Lambda, somehow in main, and Joel on soldier, and then Frank on Demoman and Max on medic. The medic spot has been between Max and Liz, and I believe Max has won that battle most times.
I think the team captain Liz just sitting there on the sidelines, coaching her team along through this lower bracket final. And I'm not mistaken, did we not cast Chicken throughout the regular season on Sunshine, Snazzy? Or am I just like that, you know, my memory that horrible?
Well, look, it's probably better than mine. I'm assuming it probably wasn't in week 5 where we actually saw this match previously. Chicken lost by a very small margin both times in week 5 on Gully and Product. So I do think that probably came into those picks and bans a little bit.
And I've just been informed we do have a roster update. So it actually will be Eels as the second scout for Chicken instead of Raised. So I'm not too familiar with these two players. I don't know if you are either, Snazzy, but if you are, do you think that's going to make you know, a huge difference to the team chemistry, especially for a roster as, you know, as tight and as, you know, I guess famous as Chicken? They've been around for quite a while.
Yeah, Chicken has been around for quite a while. There has been a little bit of, you know, play with the roster over time. But, I mean, trading Eels for Raised, I could not tell you which is better off the top of my head. Eels definitely someone to keep an eye on. I don't know how much he's been playing recently. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't think there's any major differences from what I can remember between either of their playstyles, so I don't think it'll make a huge difference to the game, but we'll just have to see what happens, I suppose.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have all 12 gamers in the server, so last thing before hopefully these two teams kick it off, one last question from me, Snazzy. This first map, Sunshine, alright, these two teams have been preparing all week as we have one of the ready-ups. What do these teams need to do in order to take, you know, that advantageous position on this first mid? What do these teams need to do to really find that momentum and just really, you know, come out of the gates running?
Oh, look, I'm a big fan of a fairly reactionary mid on Sunshine. I think you take whichever side they don't, play the high ground, and generally you'll put yourself in a pretty good spot. It will kind of depend how both of these teams want to play the map, though. If they want to get really aggressive, which I can imagine out of Colon Cancer, they've definitely shown a propensity for that previously. So I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting to watch. I'm not sure how Colon Cancer plays Sunshine. I don't think I've actually seen it previously.
But it'll be an experience for us both then. Well, judging from, you know, the map bans, they want to be going out of the gates running, as we do have the two ready-ups from both of these teams here. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching CappingTV's coverage of ozfortress Season 29. This is, of course, the main lower bracket final between Colon Cantor and Chicken. Snazzy, take us away on this first mid, please.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you everything I possibly can. Coming into this mid, we see both of the demos get there fairly evenly, but one of the soldiers on Chicken really taking some aggressive ground, and they're able to take out one of the soldiers pretty quickly up on that bell tower. We see one more trade frag coming through from the other side. Chaoski really making some moves there. The high ground has been taken by Colon Cancer here, though, but they are pretty clumped. We see one of the soldiers coming in very, very deep. One of the scouts right onto Ambro. Pardon me. Not quite able to connect all of the shots that he needed, but he has isolated that medic. Janga and his demo man stuck at choke there with no heals. Their medic had to come all the way around to collect them, and that's probably going to keep them out of the mid for the remainder of this fight.
Yeah, what was interesting to note there is that Lambda went down very, very early in this mid fight. One of the players that you'd probably expect to really be doing most of the damage on Chicken, one of those heavy hitters, of course, on that soldier role. But it looks like Chicken aren't waiting around. They're really trying to make this way all the way through this valley area and just try to really put some aggression on. But it looks like Colon Cantor are really just going to stop them in their tracks. And I think, Snazzy, we have our first stalemate of this lower bracket final.
God, it's good to be watching Team Fortress. The stalemates are coming. We do see one of the soldiers sacking through for a big bomb. He gets a rocket off on an Ambro, but not quite able to force or get the drop. There is a counter sack straight on in onto the medic. And that one also, again, big bomb, big damage, but not quite enough to really force any issues here. So it's just going to be a reset. Like you said, stalemates, it's classic Team Fortress. It's always interesting to watch and cast.
Yeah, well, given how fast we know that Colon Cantor like to play, I'm sure that they probably aren't feeling too comfortable in this situation. You know, after, of course, losing the first mid fight does put you on the back foot a little bit. But we'll see what they're able to do as there's a second soldier coming and he gets absolutely denied. That's Eels going down massively. Absolutely massively there. I believe that was actually Joel, sorry. My bad.
Joel got absolutely minced by Chaos Gear with a big midi. Sure, he wasn't strafing very much, having been caught at choke there, but still got to shout him out when they happen. We do see the counter sack come on through. He gets cleaned up. Nothing happening. So yeah, resets. It's all good.
Right, getting taken down to about 70 health there, so looks like we're able to get one nice rocket off, but it wasn't quite enough. Both these teams playing at very low risk, as we see Joel going yet again for another sack. Unsuccessful yet again, but Kowski is taking a lot of damage from this spam from choke. So yeah, both these teams playing very safe. A massive pipe onto Kowski, an amazing pipe to really deny that soldier from entering that choke, so he's going to trade his life for it. And, you know, they have been at it for now a solid minute, just trading soldiers, and neither soldier really able to find anything, Snazzy. I don't know if they're going to be seeing any off-classes yet, as another soldier gets tonight. I think that was Lambda just trying to find an opening. But what do you do in this situation here when nothing from these soldiers seems to be working?
Look, I mean, obviously, you know, you try something else. We do actually see one of the soldiers sort of half-sack and then backing out. But, look, I think neither of these teams is too upset with playing this slow here. There's still 26 minutes left on the clock. It's very early. You don't have to be too aggressive at the moment. You can probably afford to just play it passive. We do see one of the soldiers hiding in Cafe there, but he gets caught out, so he's not going to be able to get much happening. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to be... like, either team should be totally happy with playing this slow. We do see Joel come back through for another bomb, and... with his demo man able to get some damage from the choke, they're able to clean up the demo here, which could trigger the push.
That might be the opening that they need. It looks like Chicken actually now going to go through Valley. Looks like one of the scouts that just trying to lead finds the soldier, really denies it. But then the Ubers have been traded at Valley, so it looks like actually Colin Cantor actually just giving up second. That was a very interesting push. Not just maybe not as confident with a default just on the respawn timer. And yeah, that's the second point for Chicken, so apparently all you need is a demo man pick, and that's a free second point for Chicken, so well done to them, and now they'll be trying to find their way into this last point, Snazzy.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty interesting Uber push, because you did see that Colin Cancer sort of used really early, probably to compensate for the fact that they had lost their demo man, which is like a lot of their damage. Default is, I believe, their main caller as well. So losing that sort of advantage is pretty significant for them, and I think they used their Uber like a bit too early to try and compensate for the fact that they were getting pushed while being down that crucial class. And the Ubers just really do not go their way just as a part of that.
Well, it looks like Lambda they're able to get the dispenser pick, so it doesn't look like they're going to be pushing off that, as both medics are coming up on the Uber. And it's important to note here as well that Spartan, I believe, is up on that sniper roll. So he's looking from the left side spawn, just trying to see if he can poke one cheeky scout or soldier, just trying to get a sack in. And see if he's able just to deny, but the Uber gets forced. Completely missed that one. Joel's able to get the Uber forced. The Ubers are traded in lobby, and this is going to be a huge advantage for Lambda, but they aren't really able to get anything. They're just sort of sitting back. They're getting this dispenser, and they aren't really able to get anything with this Uber. Kowski's going to pick up Max, and as well as one of the demo man. So that is quite the failed push, but it's 3 down for Colin Cantor. This is all in the line bounce with both scouts left for Chicken. Very low. Oh, it looks like one of the soldiers, Joel's coming in to try and save the day. Can he get the pick onto the demo man? It doesn't look like it. He's now down to 18 health, and I think that's going to be a successful hold for Colin Cantor, but that was probably way too close for confident there, especially considering how the Uber lasted for Chicken.
Yeah, I mean, they use their Uber in lobby there to sort of like counter Uber and try to stop them from pushing all the way into the lobby and causing any issues. But they spent like a bit too long trying to collect the sentry on the right side, spam it out from that left, which they had control of. And I think in the meantime, just like a lot of players taking scrappy fights that they probably didn't need to, and just ending up in a spot where they haven't got enough health to really fight. And now being on a fairly decent Uber disadvantage, I think we'll be seeing a push, yeah?
Yeah, it looks like Colin Cantor making their way through Cafe and just trying to check for hiders, check for traps. We see Lambda, they're on the bell tower. He's going to get completely intercepted by Kowski. They're both are soldiers taking a lot of damage. Looks like Joel actually is going to go down. And Max is very, very low as well. He has a medic on the soldier. Gets one rocket on down to 30 HP. Are they able to pick up the kill? Kowski's in on Max as well. But Max, he's dodging all the rockets and he's not able to get the shot. Max lives and is able to hold on to that Uber. That is huge. But losing 3 players, a 3-for-2 trade, not the worst thing in the world. Both scouts are about very, very low, and it looks like they actually not waste any time. Chiken going straight back into this midpoint, using that Uber. Both Ubers traded, but Chiken, with that superior player advantage, is going to be able to cap off this midpoint once again. And that is quite the exchange of events.
Yeah, dude, it was definitely a really, really interesting exchange of events with that Uber coming straight back through. The absolute set on Max not using there is, like, actually incredible. There is a soldier at choke who hasn't been seen yet. He's through.
He gets one rocket.
But yeah, definitely a crazy set on Max there, just, like, absolutely holding on to that Uber. When he, I mean, I would have fucking bombed that. There is no way I would have held my Uber there.
Well, they've made it this far for a razor, Snazzy. Looks like Chiken trying to make their way into lobby. Kowski gets picked off. Just overextending too much there. He's going to trade with his life, and that's now down to 1. So, no, this is looking to be... are they able to try to get a stack up? Both medics now coming up on their Uber charges. So it looks like they're not going to really... Chiken aren't going to make anything off that Kowski pit. They're just content to sit back in lobby and just let Colin Cantor set up once again. They have that level 3 in that back left from the defender's perspective. I don't think it's been spotted out yet. It's in quite a cheeky spot just behind the stairs. But no, they're not really looking to do anything, Chiken, as of yet. And I say that Joel goes in for a stack but isn't really able to get anything, Snazzy.
Yeah, it's I think we've just seen another one of these stalemates. There is 21 minutes left on the clock though, so they're probably not super keen to let this sit forever. As you can see from Joel going through for a pretty big sack. We do see a counter sack.
Well, he gets one, he gets a scout. He's able to get a scout, and the demo man Frank going down to 3 HP. That could have been the sack to allow them to push out there, Snazzy, but it just wasn't quite enough. Just, I don't know, a couple hammer units closer, and that would have been enough to kill the demo man, but unfortunately not quite enough. And now that might allow Chiken to have a look through. They're spotting at the sentry. The sentry gun goes down. The dispenser goes down as well. So Jenga now losing basically all of his buildings. Looks like Lambda trying to take a duel on this left-hand side, but he's going to find the entire enemy combo. And that's not going to be a great one. And do we see an off-class? I think in this situation we'd see an off-class, surely, Snazzy.
I mean, if I was Chiken, I would probably try to force some sort of off-class of some variety.
Oh, so Frank's gonna get caught. He oh, massive arrow. 2 massive arrows there from Max, but it's not gonna be enough. And the demo man, it goes down, but Kowski will trade out his life for it. But that is some huge arrows there from Max. So trying to keep his demo man alive just wasn't quite enough. But the trade does mean that they are going to buy a little bit of time. But it looks like Colin Cantor don't really care. And Lambda's in behind the medic as well. Is he gonna get the force? He does. And that is huge. Absolutely huge, but Chiken able to do anything about it. The Uber gets forced off quite early. Joel trying to pick up one of the soldiers there. He's able to get that one pick, but the rest of Colin Cantor just back into lobby. Kowski might get caught out in this top right. He's down very low, just goes down to 20 HP, Snazzy, and he's able to live. Wow, so that is both Ubers now exchanged. They're going to reset from what looked like could have been the round for Chiken.
Yeah, I mean, look, Chiken had many opportunities to turn that around for them there. Losing Frank was just, like, absolutely awful for them. But having Lambda come around behind and force that Uber super early, definitely what you want to see. They were able to sort of block that Uber from really doing anything on second, especially with it coming out of that lower area. There's not really anywhere it can go, especially if it's forced early. And just like a really good defense of second there. They do sack a player in, but he dies to the sentry gun. So I think we'll be seeing another reset, maybe an off-class.
And one of the scouts there just running into the sentry gun. Oh, almost definitely a sack. I don't know which scout would be smart enough to run directly at a sentry gun, but nevertheless we press on. And yes, you are right, Snazzy. He does come up on the Australian sniper man, the Australian piss man. So we'll see if he's able to get a shot on. But if I'm not mistaken, Sunshine last, quite a harder last point to get a shot off, just given how tight lobby is. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's fairly difficult without wide peeking, and it looks like Default is pretty cognizant of that. He's getting his stickies off and really spamming out that corner. The sniper does get a peek through, but not quite able to connect anything. Really, the only spots where you can do anything is top right or under, which it looks like top right is where he's choosing to go.
Well, both Frank and Lambda playing with death there in that left side of lobby. There's four players. The entire combo from Colin Cantor just holding this left side lobby from the attacker's perspective. And they're really just locking Chicken into the lobby. They're not able to find any room for their sniper. One massive rocket there onto both Lambda and the sniper is able to really just halt that aggression. But now he's trying to peek from under. And it doesn't look like he's able to really get anything there. And, oh, one of the soldiers actually goes down. So that's one player down. Kowski also going very low. But, yeah, with that sniper, are they able to actually do it? They're actually trying to look to push it through this top left. You know, and they just throw the sentry. They don't even know where the sentry gun is. They now finally get that to go down, but they're taking so long that the spawner is actually going to be coming up. But they have all the room there, Snazzy. This could be the overs are now traded off. This is a completely messy fight. A really horrible situation for Colin Kansas to be in. They lose one. Ambrose now super weak as well, but the sniper from Chicken isn't going to make this too good. He actually gets a pick, but oh my goodness, that's a massive work from the soldiers, and that's the first round for Chicken, ladies and gentlemen. Round one of Sunshine in this lower bracket final, going to Chicken, and both soldiers, Joel and Lambda, really putting in the damage to clean up those frags on the point, and they're able to get this first round.
Oh man, it was just such a really good push out of Chicken. They're able to take that right side super early. I might go through this mid while you are recovering from that. Coming into this one, we see that both teams are sort of positioned totally separately, with Colin Cancer taking that right side and Chicken sort of like half taking both. We do see that they actually commit to each side that they would normally commit to. Bit of fighting going on, Chaoski going down very low, so is Lambda. Both players just sort of going back, trying to get a bow. At the moment, we're not seeing a whole lot of fighting. Joel going down very low and finally dying the first frag of the mid. This is coming through. We see one of the soldiers get in behind onto Max. Big rockets, but not able to convert it to a kill. Bit of fragging going on, but nothing crazy. We see players going down. With a one-player ad here, Chicken is looking pretty clean, but the Ubers are ready to go. The mid is still going. This is a very prolonged mid, but it does look like Colin Cancer are actually readying to lead. And that is the mid going the way of Chicken.
That was such an interesting mid, Snazzy. You can see that the high ground, that bell tower, which you normally see soldiers almost going for immediately on this mid, wasn't even jumped for a good 10 to 15 seconds. Just both teams content to spam damage, but the two soldiers for Colin Cantor weren't able to really do anything. There's a massive second from Joel. He gets one rocket onto Ampro, but isn't able to quite find the second. So, but there's counter coming in. There's one rocket onto Max, but Max has balls of steel there. He's not going to pop to that one soldier. He holds onto that Uber with 40 health remaining. And we'll see another sailman, and looks like we've been here before, Snazzy. But hopefully things move a little bit faster this time. But just over half of the map remaining. I don't think Chicken is really in any sort of rush now that they're one round up to really make a move to push into this second point.
Yeah, I feel like a bit of a broken record whenever I'm casting around like playoff games, because as much as you want to hang on to any sort of tangible advantage that you can have, with 14 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, Big Sack, sorry, he's on to default.
Well, it's 5! He gets 5, and the Ubers have actually been traded while that sack was going on. So, very, very interesting play coming out from Colin Cancer there. They are going to reset. Looks like one of the soldiers hiding in the valley. He's able to find one of the scouts, but it isn't going to be quite enough. Now, Janga is just trying to help his soldier buddy, but it's not going to be enough. We are going to see a reset. And the clock keeps ticking, Snazzy. The clock definitely just keep ticking. And like you were saying with that little advantage, how content are Chicken really to be able to try and hold on to this mid? Because one mistake here could mean that the game's completely tied up.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was getting at before the teams interrupted my train of thought, was that if they make a mistake here with only one round on the board, like if they beef a fight, you know, if they try to take an Uber in and drop all their players or something, not that I'm saying that would happen, you know, Max is rather good, it would just put them in a spot where you've tied it back up, you've now put the momentum back into Colin Cancer, and they're able to sort of like try to keep that up. But we do see Jenga up on Spy, so I'm pretty interested in watching this.
Yeah, it looks like Colin Cantor are actually trying to take things into their own hands now. Jenga is on at that sneaky Frenchman class, trying to see if he can get any sort of pick. And I really like this play. I really like this play. You know, the soldier sack isn't working. You aren't really going to force Max, so why not just instantly kill him from behind?
Yeah, definitely a play that's worth going for. We do see Django actually uncloaking, coming forward.
Kowski's through. Max is healing him now as well, but he turns around and it's not going to be enough. Kowski's going to go down, Django's going to go down, but they do trade for Joel. So it's 2 for 1, and they were able to get Max actually very, very low, down to 20 health almost. But just wasn't quite enough. You know, Max is really showing his experience, really showing his skill out there on this map. Just holding on to that Uber is very, very crucial to really just halting any momentum that Cole and Cancer are trying to get.
Yeah, man, someone needs to get this guy a little cart to carry around his big brass balls in, man, because there is no way he's holding those up with his own strength. We do see a big gold sack.
That's Lambda. He's getting in, and it's going to get completely denied. But looks like one off class hasn't worked, so they're going to try the other one. Kowski is now on Sniper, trying to snipe his way into mid. He's just sitting on the battlements area for now, but not really any angles to go from just yet. Looks like Chicken doing fairly well at trying to lock down this choke. I want to see someone trying to take a duel in Cafe. I think that's what they need to do, because Cafe has only been watched by this one scout, and surely if you send 2 players right at him, like, he's gonna die, and then that will give you an opening, surely. But you know what do I know, you know?
I think you know something, man. Sending soldiers into Cafe is definitely a good play. We did see a bit of a sack in the meantime there, but nothing really happening. Just another rocket on Ambro and a deleted soldier. So, I don't know. We do actually see that Joel, is that Joel? That's Joel, has come up on Spy as well. So we're seeing a Spy play of their own on Chicken side.
Yeah, the double off class, one for each. Kowski is actually going to go down. He's going to eat a pipe. A very, very nice pipe there from Frank. So that's one off class down. I'm interested to see what Joel can do. And that's 2 players down now. One of the soldiers that just sitting in Valley is going to get caught out as well. They haven't spotted the Spy yet though, and it looks like that's enough. Colin Cancer don't want to have take any risks in this point. Looks like Kowski is just trying to find something. He's able to get the trade onto one of the scouts, but that's about it. And Chicken, once again, have taken the second point relatively easily.
Yeah, with the push there, they actually managed to secure that player out. Joel giving them the crucial information of where that soldier was, and he is coming behind onto Ambro now. He with the stab, Nerf seeing him at just the last second. Man, oh man. But yeah, he gave them this this crucial information of where that soldier was, so they were able to come around the corner and just, like, with 2 scouts, delete the guy.
Yeah, like I don't know what's going on with these holds for Colin Cancer, but they really need to start setting up. They're now on their own last, 1 round down. They still have plenty of time, just under 10 minutes remaining, but I'm sure it's at this stage in the match, Snazzy, where you start to look at that timer and realize, damn, we need 2 rounds if we want to convincingly, you know, take this map. Of course, probably these teams don't want to take it to a golden cap, because there's a lot of pressure on the line if it does come to that, especially in you know, the lower page finals.
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, look, if you're Chicken, you got to be cheering at this point. You are running clock down. You're holding them in the last, where you're less likely to make a mistake. That said, they did have a soldier sack in and die to a sentry, which has gone down pretty early, but they have sort of like left one of their scouts
now, but I think that's Spartan. He's on that Spy class. He's in his way into lobby. He whiffs the stab on the demo. That's another whiff stab. But Amber has dropped his Uber. And that is really, really bad. Max and Chicken are just going to stroll their way in, but it's only 3 players in on this last, and the default with an amazing sticky trap. He's going to pick off the scout as well, so this is actually holdable for Colin Cancer. It's 2v4 at the moment. The spawners are now starting to come in. Default gets another pipe, and the Uber saw from Amber, he's going to get stickers out of the arrow as well. He gets the arrow as well. Max is going to go down. Kowski is right in the face of this scout. And is it going to be enough? Yes, he's able to pick off that pick, and there's now just the soldier trying to salvage this onto Amber. He gets 1 rocket, Amber going down to 50 health, but that is an insane hold by both Default and Amber.
Yo, Default and Amber absolutely putting in the work. Default's been doing his sticky reps and his pipe reps, man. You could see he was just very ready for that. He was totally able to just go, okay, you're on? No, you're not. You're dead. Don't worry about it. And, man, just absolutely turning that around for his team. And now with this huge ad, what is that, 40-50% I mean, this is an easy push for them, right?
I wouldn't say anything just yet. It looks like Lambda trying to make something happen, but both soldiers for Chicken actually going down super, super low. It looks like Lambda is going to get his life taken away from him, whereas Joel is able to escape through Cafe. But off that amazing last hole, they're trying to roll this momentum as far as they can, Snazzy. They're making it their way through Cafe. They've spotted the trap gets dead. The Uber comes forced is popped now, but Max is able to get his as well just in time to save most of his players, and now we're going to be seeing who has the better positioning for this post-fight. Looks like Joel's going down very well. He's just going to get cleaned up almost instantly. Nerf going to be trading his life there. Janga getting a nice pick onto Lambda as well. What's going to happen here? It's 2 up. It's 2 up. It's 2v5 now. One of the spawners, I think that's Frank on that Demo Man class, is going to be spawning for Chicken, but things are looking dire. This could be the second round of the night. Snazzy, it looks like it depends on how quickly Chicken are able to get their respawners in, and the heavy coming out from Joel is going to completely halt this aggression, but they have a slight Uber ad. I don't know if it's enough to push on. I don't know even if it's enough that they know about it, but about 10-15%, certainly doable if they're fast, and they are really trying to use this momentum. 6 minutes and 30 seconds just about left on the clock, and they are looking to try and take this through top right, it would seem. But the Pyro there's going to completely stop it in their tracks, and that's 2 picks. That's 2 picks. That's a Pyro and a Soldier down for Chicken. This is looking bad. It's just all sitting in this top right corner, but the Uber gets completely denied. Default really just not in this Uber. They aren't able to get really any ground from it, and that was looking like such a great opportunity, Snazzy, but it just narrowly, barely slipped away from them, but they're still trying to make something of it. A big bomb coming in, Default's going to go down, and it's just fighting going on all over the place. Actually, Kelsey's going to go down. Now it's just the 2 scouts left, and Nerf, that is a team wipe for Colin Cancer, and that should have been around. That was some really great momentum, but they just weren't able to convert it, and the time, I keep saying it now, the time is slowly drifting away from them.
Yeah, the time is definitely going to be putting some pressure onto Colin Cancer here. With the initial Uber into second there, Max didn't quite have Uber in time, so with dropping Frank early because he didn't have Uber, I mean, it just put them in such a good spot to be able to take that second point and then push into the last. But the spawners came through just quick enough to stop that push. Like you said, Joel up on heavy, that's such a big plus that there was nothing they could really do to push in. They still took the fight. It was still so close, but just not quite able to convert it. But with this Uber ad on Chicken, I think we're going to see a push.
Yeah, it looks like Max and his boys are making their way through Cafe, but Lambda goes down very early. 2 rockets on, and Max drops the Uber Dekowski. That is huge, and that's now 3 players down. Chicken, are they crumbling here, Snazzy? And one of the scouts here, that's Redhound, he's going to go down as well. That's 4 players down and not a single frag onto Colin Cantor. Could this be the momentum that they need? Could that be the mistake that Chicken needed to make in order for Colin Cantor to really tie this up? They leave 1 scout to cap. Which way do they choose to go? Looks like Default wants to take it through top right. This full Uber advantage, absolutely no setup. This is a Pyro and a Heavy, so no 7th man on the sentry gun, but the spawner's coming up, and looks like Colin Cantor, they're just trying to make sure that everything is ready to go. Default's in as well. Nerf trying to get this pick onto the Demo Man super early, but it's not quite enough. Not quite enough. The Demo Man's leading so long, but all of the other frags, and that's going to be 1-1 with 4 minutes remaining, Snazzy. We have ourselves a battle.
Mikcow, man, I think we're going to be seeing a golden cap. Are you ready for this stuff? Are you ready to sit here for like 7 hours, man?
If it's as close as this for all 3 maps, I am more than happy to sit here. And it looks like on this 3rd mid of the map, just under 4 minutes remaining, Default a lot faster to mid than Frank is, but both teams again trying to play this sort of passive mid. Kelsey actually going in super deep. He gets 2 rockets on, and that's Max going down to 5 health. Looks like the other soldier there is able to clean up the kill. That's 3 picks actually. 4 actually, make that. Nerf getting a pick there onto Joel, and that is Colin Cantor. They are back. They are back, Snazzy, in full force here. They have that heal advantage. They're trying to make their way into Cafe. One of the scouts is going to get cleaned up easily, and that's just going to be one of the Chicken scouts there, just running for his little life as fast as little legs can carry him. Yeah, is going to live, but this momentum Is this going to be round number 3? Could Colin Cantor just really just steal this from underneath Chiken's noses? They certainly are in a great position to, Snazzy.
Yeah, man, with this great ad. 80% ad. All of their players are... I mean, yeah, they know they're going to be pushing into some sort of, like, off-class, but with 2 minutes and 50 on the clock, I think they know that they have to. It looks like they're defeating the trolls in the dungeon, taking it down through lower, taking that lobby area nice and safe. I think this is going to be the push that they need.
Yeah, well, they wait too long. Max is going to get up on that Uber. They are building extremely well, but the Ubers comes in from top right, and Default gets taken down. The 2 stickies and the sentry gun juggling in. That's Default going down, but Stigma, Pock, and that's a round. That's a round. They weren't holding on to the point. That's now 2-1 with 2.5 minutes remaining. Can Chiken come back from this, ladies and gentlemen? This is going to be down to the wire for this first map, or can Colin Cantor just hold on and really carry this momentum that they've gained in the past 5 minutes and just seal this one away? I am super keen for this one. Take us through this next mid, Snazzy.
Oh, mate, look, this is definitely the time to shine for Chiken. They really have to win this mid quite convincingly. Lambda getting in nice and deep onto that high ground early. Getting the frag with Joel onto the mid.
That's 3.
3 players down. Oh my
4,
god.
5. It's just Default. Only 1 frag. That's only Joel leaving. Default's going to try and get away with 31 health. He's able to get the pack, but it looks like Lambda is in as well. But Default with an amazing pipe. And he's going to leave with 1 HP. Is he going to get out? He's going to leave through this under area, and he has escaped. It looks like, no, he quite hasn't. That's a very late death, and that was just a complete role reversal there, Snazzy. Chiken are saying, nah, we're going to Golden Cap. You guys aren't winning this map. And now they have a good 60%, 70, 80% Uber advantage to work with. But they are going to be trying to go into a Pyro and a Sentry on this last. So are they able to make the clean push that they need? Or can Colin Cantor do what Chiken couldn't? And it looks like they're trying to make this way through their lower lobby. The Pyro goes down almost straight away. They haven't really dealt with the Sentry gun just yet. The Sentry now going down, but there's traps from Default. They're going to get 1 pick. There's now 2 players down, 3 players down. Chiken, that's 4, and they're both very weak. That is Joel and Max, both running for their lives, and Colin Cantor are able to hold on to this last point with under a minute remaining. Snazzy, this is going to go down to the wire. Looks like Joel's trying to make anything happen. He's all alone on this last. He's going to get taken down from Jenga. And dare I say it, this could be map 1 done and dusted.
The only way that Chiken can turn this around for them is because they kept Max up there. They have 20% Uber with 20 seconds left. That's kind of impossible to build unless they get some sort of overtime. But they are coming straight through that lower area. They're getting in early, but the Pyro was there. The demo was able to clean up Max. This is looking like the round is going the way of Colin Cantor with using their Uber on the point here with 7 seconds remaining. I mean, it's an easy game for them here.
Absolutely incredible scenes. Looks like Joel just trying to get a couple extra frags, but that is map 1 of this best of 3 series, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Cantor completely stealing this one from Chiken in the last 5 to 10 minutes to take this first map 2-1. And now we're on to Process, Snazzy, and yeah, that was quite the game.
Yeah, man, that was an absolutely huge game. So much going on the whole way through that one. Colin Cantor really putting in the work to turn that around their way after being down with, I mean, geez, they were down with like 12 minutes remaining, less. They were really close to losing that one. But we'll get these logs up. We'll have a quick look at them, see if anything jumps out at us to really scream about how Colin Cantor was able to turn that around.
The first thing that screams to me is Default 300 DPM going 19-6 on that Demoman class. That is some insane numbers. Getting the top KD of a 3.2 KD, and basically all of Colin Cantor actually towards the top of that KD, that having the higher KD values. So they certainly were getting the frags and they were doing the damage, but it just took them a while to really get the cohesion, it looks like, to just get the rounds on the board.
Yeah, some really interesting play out of both teams. Like I said, they're sort of like kind of evenly matched and they sort of play the same as well, despite the sort of like unfettered aggression out of Colin Cantor. When they have that advantage, they're very content to just play slow. I think you can sort of see that with the way these logs go, because you can see that when you look at like sorting by deaths, we actually see that Joel with 24, because he's just participating in so many of those sacks that, yeah, they weren't quite able to convert things most times, but he's still keeping that pressure on. And especially when they had that tiny little advantage at the start, keeping that pressure on is important. So I don't really want to be giving him grief for that. But yeah, man, these logs are just exactly what you expect from a game that was that close. And Default coming through just big, man. He's definitely putting the work in.
Yeah, both Default and Max also for Chicken, both really having some clutch plays. But it looks like Colin Cancer, after that bit of a slow start, were able to get things going. But what sticks out to me as well, cutting into process, is these mid fights. Chicken are winning these mid fights. The only one that they lost is that complete, absolutely demolition, right? That Colin Cancer gave them on that the third round, which allowed them to take that second round that they needed. But on the whole, Chicken are doing very well in these mid fights, and it's a whole lot easier to win games if you win in the mids. So are they able to keep this going through process, like you were saying in the pre-show? So they basically are the same map.
I mean, they are, but I was just about to say, like, Sunshine feels more, like, especially with the choke area, more segmented than Process does. So I think winning mid on Process is probably a bit bigger impact than winning it on Sunshine. Because you win mid on Sunshine, you got to get through, there's a little dog leg through, and, the soldier's going to jump you, and, we've all seen it 1,000 times before. Whereas Process, I mean, you send a soldier straight through the choke, and you're, like, in, man. You are so, like, deep before they can really even react to anything. And especially having snipers on this map is pretty important. Just given the sightlines that are so big on this one. I don't know. It's I feel like Chicken could probably take this one. I think we'll be going to a third map, man.
Well, that's I will agree with you on that one. I certainly hope that Chicken are able to bounce back, but they probably will be feeling quite demoralized after that one looked so good for so long, right? And then it just slipped from their noses. But hopefully Liz there, the team captain, giving them a bit of a pep talk, just trying to cheer them up a little bit. Don't worry, guys, we got this. Guys are playing well, and hopefully they're able to make a comeback. They have, like we were just saying, they have been doing well on these mids, and that is the first step. But this process definitely a lot more open, and definitely a lot more sniper happy, if that's a term that I'm allowed to use. Lots of sight lines, lots of very wide sight lines, and quite long ones as well. So it can be quite hard to shut down a sniper. So I'm curious to see which teams will try and run, sniper just to try and break the stalemates and really get those picks. We saw a little bit of a sniper and a few spy players as well on Sunshine. But what do you think the chances are of seeing a bit more of a unorthodox off class, like maybe a pyro or a heavy, or God forbid an engineer?
I mean, look, I can definitely see either team running snipers. There's definitely some big snipers on both teams. I really don't know how to predict how this game will go. I do think the Chicken has some sort of advantage, and they'll probably be trying to push that. But with the momentum kind of being in Colin Cancer's court here, I mean, it's up to them. If they can win this first mid fight, I think they're definitely in with a very big chance to just take the map fairly hard. I have no idea.
I think it's all momentum based. Like, in all honesty, like when you get to this stage and both these teams now have gone through a whole map, and it's been quite an intense, a very close game for these two teams. So both of them will be starting to feel at least some fatigue. Even if it's not a lot, it could be just enough. Because, of course, you do need that stamina when you are playing in a best-of-3 series. Because there could be another whole map after this, depending on how this goes. And they need to be ready for that one, because if it goes to that, it is do or die for both of these teams. This is, of course, if you're just joining us, the lower bracket final. So whichever team loses here will be ending their season, and whoever wins will be advancing to the grand finals of ozfortress Season 29 main division.
Yeah. I did just have the thought. So, in week 5, when these teams matched up earlier, the scorelines on the maps, I believe they were Gullywash and Product. They were fairly similar scorelines. I think it was 2-1 on Gully to Colin Cancer last time. And I didn't see the game, But I'm actually starting to wonder if maybe we're seeing sort of like a repeat of the same thing. Maybe it is just colon cancer, sitting on their laurels until they have some sort of advantage and then pushing it like crazy. And I mean, I definitely think that that's what they need to be doing here. Maybe again, the same thing that they did on Sunshine, where it's like, okay, we wait until we have some sort of tangible advantage, then we just keep leapfrogging player ad, uber ad, player ad, uber ad. I mean, that's kind of like classic Team Fortress winning, isn't it, Mikcow?
Yeah, that's certainly a very, very hard force to stop. Once you get the ball rolling, it just keeps snowballing down the hill, and it's really, really hard to stop. Really for either, both the attacking and the defending teams, because sometimes you can go too fast, and that can spell curtains in just the same way. I believe the scorelines from that Week 5 match were 2-3 to Colin Cancer on Gully Wash and 1-3 to Colin Cancer on Product. So these teams definitely have some history of some quite close games, and we are in for quite the treat, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to stick around. We do have all 12 in the server now. I think they're just going through their final game plans and just trying to determine what they are going to do on this first mid. But I definitely agree with you, Snazzy, that once Colin Cancer, they went off to a slow start. They lost around fairly early. About 10 minutes in. Not super early, but they did lose that first round, but they kept pushing at the shield. They found the crack, and then they just completely exploited it, for the last 5 minutes, and were able to steal the map. But let's see if Process is a different story. Let's see if they're able to carry this momentum that they got from the end of Sunshine, and then just come out with, just start this map off with a bang, and really put Chicken under some real pressure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see on these mids as well. How default goes, because I feel like I'm talking entirely out of my ass here because I have never played Demo Man. That's a lie. I played it like once, but I was really bad.
Do pugs count? Do pugs count in that?
I don't think I've even played it in pugs, man. But
come on, man.
I feel like the Process mid is probably a bit more favorable than the Sunshine mid is to Demo Man, especially when Default with his pipes has sort of been popping off. He's sort of been connecting all of them, like a plumber, as the kids may say. So I'm interested to see if he's going to pop off on these mids and really make some moves on the high ground, hitting that pipe and letting his team sort of clean up game. Because I do think, I mean, I know it's sort of like everyone knows this, but like the high ground is very important on this map for the mid. And I feel like Default might be able to make some pretty big impact up on them. I don't know. It depends how he wants to play it.
Well, Default definitely has been putting in a lot of work for his team. Just really sealing that game away. Just really giving his team the momentum that they needed from that amazing hold that he had with Ambro, who was also able to get a frag in that one. Getting a nice Ubersaw and crossbow combo onto Max after making that awful mistake of a drop holding last, which I think definitely made up for it in the moment. But this is a new map. Both teams just resetting, and I think that they're really taking their sweet time here. They aren't really ready to make sort of any risks. But could this be a psychological strategy here from Chicken, just to try and slow down this momentum, though, sort of let the Colin Cancer players cool off a bit? From some of the shots I'm seeing in pre-game, it doesn't seem to be working a whole lot. But it's a thought. It's a thought, but forgive.
Yeah.
Sorry, viewers, we're just trying to kill time here while these teams are just discussing. And as I say, it looks like we do have the two readies. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is CappingTV's coverage of ozfortress Season 29 main lower bracket finals. This is map number 2. Colin Cancer taking the first map 2-1 on Sunshine. Now we're here on Process heading into this first mid, Snazzy.
Oh, mate, I'm just absolutely trembling with anticipation. We see some pretty early aggression out of Joel onto Default, not really connecting any damage, but forcing him back a little. The teams have taken their respective high grounds, but I think the Chicken has better control of it.
Joel.
I say that before Default takes out Joel nice and early. This is what I was talking about. Controlling that high ground from the ground. And then we see Lambda going down as well. Chaoski getting a fat rocket onto him with the rest of his team, doing some damage. And that's just the mid. Chicken has to back out because they're down 2.
That was a very, very clean mid. You know, both teams playing it fairly patient, but both soldiers there from Chicken just getting caught out of positions just slightly. And now the counter aggression's coming in. Looks like that's Kowski getting some insane damage there onto that combo. All the players just sort of stuck in that door one area, but Nerva's going to go down. Jenga's going to pick up the trade kill onto Joel. And Kowski is just all on his lonesome here, just trying to find something. He gets one nice rocket on, gets two rockets on, but Max down to 50 health. Is it going to be quite beaten up? But the second soldier coming in. Wow, that is going to be the force on the Chicken. And it looks like Colin Cancer are just going to be running for it. Default is able to get out. Might have thought he would have gotten caught there. But Chicken now taking this mid, but they did trade the Uber for it. So Ambro will have about a 25 to 30% advantage to try and make his way back into this midpoint. But a process mid can be quite a difficult point to push off just an Uber advantage, Snazzy.
Yeah, for sure. And Ambro getting forced I believe as he came through choke, if I'm remembering correctly. My short term's a bit busted today, man. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I believe he got forced like really early, and that really put a dent in their ability to push that there, even with that coordinated aggression from both their soldiers. And they're just lucky. They're just lucky to manage to get the force.
Here we go, Snazzy. Default, he's got that sticky. He's going super, super deep. But is he able to get caught? Yes, he gets caught by Ambro. They are able to find two picks now. They're now trying to eye up on Lambda as well, but the counter pop has come up. But the post fight is looking really dire for Chicken. That Smack's going down, as well as Lambda. Now it's just one of the scouts left, and that is a full wipe on the side of Chicken. And Colin Cancer only losing one player. This is looking bad. Looks like the Colin Cancer from the end of Sunshine is back on process, and this is looking scary for Chicken.
Yeah, Chicken definitely have to be quaking in their boots there, man. Colin Cancer just took such control of that whole point, that whole fight there. Yeah, their Uber was used early, and Chicken were able to return with their own Uber, but Colin Cancer just took control of the high ground and said, nah, we'll sit up here until you're done and then we'll kill you all. And they really turned it around their way, man. Absolutely beautiful to see. This huge ad, what is that, 50? 50 ad.
Yeah, 50.
I mean, they're going to be pushing.
Well, let's see if Redhound on that sniper is able to get a pick. Looks like he's was looking through door 5. He's actually going to now switch back onto that scout class. As Colin Cancer looking to pick a door to go through. Looks like it's going to be door 3. The Uber is used very early. They run into that heavy. The heavy is going to get taken down super slow. He is going to get cleaned up eventually, but I think that's the only frag that they're going to get. Jenga going down very low. Lambda, though, is going to fall to the guns of Nerf there. Chaos is going to get picked up as well. That's 3 down, and now it's Frank going down very low. It's just Redhound and Max. On at this point, it's just Max, and that is going to be round 1 for Colin Cancer coming out in full force. So we are definitely not seeing a repeat of Sunshine, ladies and gentlemen. That's round 1 for Colin Cancer, and as of right now, they have secured their seat into the finals, but there's still 26 minutes remaining here. So Chicken, plenty of time to bring it back, but they really need to change something on how they're pushing these mids and how they are just holding as a team in general.
Yeah, for sure, man. Do see some early aggression out of Colin Cancer this time, getting some damage onto Frank. He's managed to get himself an arrow and return back to full health, but we see his scouts going down fairly low on the side of Chicken. Then Nerf and Default taking that far left side really deep. They're going to be able to cut off some gamers at choke here. Default with some mad sticky big
the health so
Frank's
bad.
going down. Stigma, that's Max. He's down very low as well. Chaoski trying to get through there, not quite able to connect it. We do see Lambert sacking through behind the team as they're trying to get onto Ambro and actually collecting a scout, but not managing to get the frag onto Ambro. Man, what a fight.
Yeah, that was better. That was better from Chicken. You know, they were able to take some more initiative. They were able to get that early pick that they needed, but the health was just so bad, and they were really just caught out of position. They were all stuck in that choke area, whereas Colin Cancer had just complete control over the entire midpoint, so they couldn't really do much even with the player advantage. But both teams now have this Uber, and I believe this is a role reversal from the last map. It's now Colin Cancer on mid with a round in their pocket. But this is process. There are quite a few more avenues, and quite easy to sack through, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. A bit easier to sack through and really get an opening. But we'll see what these teams are able to do. Actually, as I said, Kowski going through now. He's onto one of the scouts there, but he's not really going to hit anything. So Chicken maybe looking to try and counter sack, maybe. No? Oh, yes? No. That was a very interesting sack attempt. But, that definitely was a sack. I'll give it that.
Default was so ready for that sack, man. He smelled it coming a distance away and just dead his trap and frag. We did see a counter sack out of which player?
Oh
was
no, that was, I don't know.
I'm
Spartan.
gonna one day I'm gonna hang someone for fake nicking, and no one's gonna do it anymore. It's gonna make my life much easier.
Well, that's certainly gonna make a bold statement. I hope you don't get caught for that one. But anyway, we press on. No off classes as of yet from either side. I would have definitely expected Colin Cantor to maybe bring out the sniper, because it really puts the pressure on Chicken and it slows the game down a ton. So
yeah, I can see what you mean about that one. So running a sniper here would definitely be good, and especially when you're holding mid, like you're kind of content to rest on your laurels for a while. There is a lot of time left, so they need to be kind of fearful of screwing up a push here, like we talked about with Chicken on the last map. Putting themselves in a spot here would be a very bad thing. Do see a soldier sack through.
Max goes down. He goes down to 50, but wasn't quite enough. Spartan unable to pick up that kill. But now there's a 2v1 going on. Oh my goodness, that is another player going down. I believe that's called Sewer, maybe? I don't know. Callouts are just a name. But the drop from Joel onto Amber. That is gonna be really, really bad. And it looks like Chicken now trying to use this momentum with the Force. They are able to get the Force from Max. But is it too little too late there, Snazzy? I don't know. It looks like Amber is about to spawn. Kowski gonna back spawn. They looks like Chicken will get 2 free points for this. It will be even Ubers. But a huge drop from Amber, and then again a huge Force onto Max as well.
Amber dropping there exactly what Chicken wanted, to be able to take that middle point back and put themselves in a spot here where they can definitely take a round. It's just so unfortunate that Max did finally get forced by a sack play. Yeah, there was a lot of players onto him, and oh man, I don't know. I think I mean, if you're Colin Cantor here, you definitely need to be really fearful, because yeah, they've got all these off classes and stuff, but being stuffed into your last when you're round ahead and the time is starting to tick down, not what you want, because Chicken can sort of throw everything at the wall until something sticks. And if something does stick, they're in a bad spot. We do see a big old sack through from Joel.
Joel getting absolutely destroyed. They're sinking a rocket off of, I think that was Kowski holding door 3. Just, yeah, getting absolutely flung right into the enemy combo. And just one quick scatter shot to the face was all that little little soldier had left in his pretty little life. So we do see the 2 off classes, so Nerf and Jenga on that Sniper and Engineer respectively. They do have this gun set up between doors 3 and 4, and there's a dispenser armor set up as well for Amber, their medic, so they are really content to just sort of turtle on this last and just, you know, taunt Chicken and say, you know, give us your best shot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they need to be fearful of that though, because Chicken can, if they, you know, just poke gently and don't lose too many players on it, they can definitely start just like keep on sacking until you get that mid. And with Amber being so close there, yeah, he's got the sentry right next to him. Ooh, default with a fat pipe. He's got the sentry right next to him there, but a couple rockets from a soldier would be enough to cause some real problems for Colin Cantor here.
Now, we saw Joel stacking a whole lot on Sunshine, as actually the Frank going down to a very nice headshot from Nerf. So there's a demo man down. Could that mean a push out? Maybe? Spartan's looking at this lower area, but the combo's going through top between doors 2 and 3, and they're pushing out. Snazzy, they're pushing out a last.
It's definitely a really good push out of them being able to take that ground there, but Amber dropping. Oh my god, this is so bad for Colin Cantor.
Oh no. The drop, a second drop, that's a +2 in the chat, if you please. That is gonna spell almost curtains. They have to spot the sentry gun, but the sentry gun gets 2! The sentry gun gets 2 kills. It's finally gonna go down. It's now a 3v3, and Chicken are gonna have to leave. They're gonna have to back out of last once again. A nice arrow from Max onto land that is gonna keep his soldier buddy alive. But wow, just Chicken again, just getting slightly ahead of themselves there. Like similar to what Colin Cancer were doing before, and that could have been around. That was probably way too close for Colin Cancer yet again.
Yeah, man. But Chicken keeping their meta alive there as well, despite flubbing the push against that sentry. I mean, they have almost got Uber, and it's definitely like a good 25-30% ad. It does look like they're coming straight on through.
Yeah, looks like Frank's going to be leading that one through along with the bot scout himself. The sentry gun goes down, but they aren't really able to get any more frags than that. Nerf's going to pick up the kill onto the other scout. They're just trading frags left, right, and center. The Uber does get popped out from Ambro. 3 players down now for Chicken, and it looks like it's going to be another successful hold. Joel unable to get the single rocket onto Ambro, and it's just going to be Max running away with his life. He did survive, which is probably the only positive they can probably take away from that push, to be in all honesty.
Yeah, losing 5 players, pushing into last there. I mean, Colin Cancer has definitely got their last hold kind of in the bag at the moment. They know exactly what they're doing. They're able to sort of throw back anything that comes at them. I mean, yeah, they got Max out, but they're still on a bit of a dis-ad. Ambro had someone to heal sort of that whole time, whereas Max was kind of on his own for a very long time, firing arrows, trying to like maybe sort of delay the push a little bit, but he wasn't really able to do very much. Oh man, this is not a good spot to be in if you're Chicken. There's 17 minutes left on the clock, sure, but the momentum is really not in their favor here.
Well, they have managed to quell this Uber advantage. Nerf eating, I should say, a big pipe there from Frank. Blue have lost their Uber advantage, so it's now even Ubers. Chicken are holding mid, and they are in the driving seat, more or less, so they will have another crack at it. The time is ticking away, but they still have over half the map remaining, so no real-time threats, but there is certainly a health threat there, as Frank going down very low. That could have been really bad. Joel sitting in this, sewer area and just chilling there, just mining the health pack. But Jenga back on the spy yet again. This is map number 2. He's gone for this sneaky Frenchman class. But Ambro dropping yet again. That's number 3. Joel, his solo sacks have finally paid off. And that is another +2. Ambro is having a horrible game on process. Just wow. That is... Don't even need the spy. But Max does get forced yet again. Kowski able to get that one. Jang now stuck on spy. He's going to be seeing if he can try and get an easy pick. But actually he is. He's going to get one. That's a good pick. But another drop from Ambro Snazzy. This is bad. This is very bad.
Yeah, it looks like the soldiers just kind of have Ambro's number on this map, man. They're totally able to get in there and just land on his head, put some rockets into him, and just say, yeah, there you go, you're done. It's just like... Chicken is sort of like flubbing these pushes as they come on through. They didn't send anyone through choke, so Kowski was able to... I finally figured out how to say his name, by the way. Kowski was able to sort of stand on that that upper area, come around and just get that force on a Max very, very early. It's a pity about Janka being able to get that frag as well. They really should have probably caught him a little bit earlier. But yeah, man, it's really hard to say how this is going to go because Chicken is showing so much promise with all of these pushes, but things are just going wrong at the wrong time for them. And Nerf up on Sniper here, collecting a headshot onto a soldier. It's looking like it's going to keep going wrong for Chicken.
Yeah, Lambda getting his head blown away by that Australian sniper rifle owned by Nerf himself. Nothing really coming out of it. Looks like Kelsey's opening that door 1 shutter door just to try and give Nerf a bit more of an angle, but he isn't really able to define anything just yet. Looks like Max knows exactly where to stand in order to counter a sniper. But standing on that low ground of grass can be quite risky, but it looks like he has his team covering all possible entry points that would pose at least any sort of threat to him. Redhound's going to go down to the gun of Redhound. Nerf going down to 50 health, but he's just going to go get that resupply cabinet and be good as new.
Yeah, I think Huffy was probably sacking in there. I mean, they know about like the sentry and stuff, so I'm just waiting to see what he comes up on, which is Spy. So he's come up on Spy. I think, Yeah, Nerf is checking for off classes though, so I think he's going to get caught. I was about to say, Nerf has gone back to spawn, come up on Spy, and you can see that he's standing in there, so he's going those different classes to check what classes they might be using, knowing that that was a sack, and knowing that there's a Spy here. I think it's going to be very difficult for Huffy to actually get himself in. He is pretty deep in already, but I don't think... It's very unlikely he's going to be able to like get away with a total sneak play. He has taken that upper area though, so I'm not really sure.
Well, Amber is in a very, very hard spot to get to. He's right next to the sentry gun and the dispenser and has 3 teammates around him to boot. So I don't think Huffy's really going to be able to get Amber. Like, that's just a hunch, but maybe he's able to get something else. Kowski bumps him with a nice rocket jump, and Huffy is just saying, nope, I'm just going to nope on out of there. Just go back into door 1, reset, and try again. Try anew. Certainly have time. 13.5 minutes left on the clock. So it is going down. Nerf is going to lose his life there to a nice Siggy trap there from Frank. But nothing else really happening. Oh, actually, the Force. The Force comes out. Amber gets forced, and Kowski goes down as well to the Spy. This could be what they need. Is this the chance that Chicken need? They are going to use it either fairly early. They're actually going to be fading as they make their way into last as well. The heavy coming up, but the amount of pressure from these two soldiers isn't going to be enough. Yes, it is. That's 1-1 with 12 and just under 13 minutes remaining on process. It's 1-1, and Chicken are back.
Yeah, man, Chicken absolutely able to get through there. Yeah, they got forced in lobby, but they were able to clean up that sentry so early into the push and just totally be able to take that ground. But looking at this mid, mate, you're going to have to tell me about what's going on, Mikcow.
Yeah, default running a little bit earlier, but looks like Chicken opting to take this right-hand side very aggressively. We see Lambda trying to make something happen. He actually gets a pick onto Jenga, so that's one of the scouts down for Colin Kant there. And just... nothing really happening. Looks like they've actually done the whole ring around the rosy. They've now swapped sides on this mid. A massive rocket onto one of the Chicken scouts there. I believe that was Eels going down super low. But going down actually. Oh, that's Max and the taunt coming out, and that is a whole team wipe from Chicken. Just the initial mid-fight looked so good for them, but the post-fight after the little ring around the rosy and swapping sides just didn't quite go into it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely drilled there. Colin Cancel just able to do that ring around the rosy. Yeah, they got sacked into. They lost some players, but they were totally able to just go, okay, that's fine. We're going to be able to reconnect with each other, come back in, and delete you guys on this midpoint. They held that high ground while Chicken were playing on the low ground. And Chicken just should be mentioned. They did actually swap Eels back out for Ray, so they got their core player back on now, which might be helping them as they come into this map.
Yeah, certainly having a bit more of a familiar face and a familiar voice in the comms is certainly beneficial. But it looks like Colin Cats are trying to use this Uber advantage. They're going to use it fairly early, going through this door 3, just trying to take as much space as they can. Default in onto this... in this heavy, and he's able to get that pick. Lambda going to go down as well, but the counter use has come out from Chicken. They're trying to force his way back, and it's massive damage there. Joel getting 3. Amazing picks there. Kowski going down very low as well. He's going to try and make his way all the way back around through door 1, and he's going to get cleaned up. So that's a 4k for Joel on that last hold. And what an amazing hold. He gets a 5k as well on Jenga. He was trying to go for a sneaky back out. But amazing hold from Chicken, and great rocket placement from Joel. You can just see all those players leaving from door 2, and he just said, thank you very much for the free DPM.
Yeah, man. You definitely want to be padding your stats whenever you see the opportunities. Traps on the rock, but it doesn't look like anyone's going past that one. We do see Joel going down as he came into the midpoint, but holy dooly, man. What a hold. Just cleaning up literally everyone. This is exactly what you want to see if you're Chicken. You've now got about a 20 to 30 Uber ad. Once you've got your player back up, if you were to just push straight on in, I think you'd be in a good spot. Do see Huffy pretty deep though, so I'm not really sure how that one's going to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like Colin Cantor actually just trying to make their way, just trying to build this Uber back as much as they can, excuse me. But Kelsey is going to go down as well in the meantime, so that's one player down. It is now even Ubers, but Colin Cantor have needed to give up this second point for it. So Chicken, I don't know which attempt this is at trying to push into last, but they're here again in this familiar spot. Django going back up on this engineer, so it looks like they're probably going to be doing a similar sort of hold. No, actually the sentry is now next to that spawn door, just trying to get that thing built up to a level 3 that have that maximum 216 health. But yeah, nothing really much happening. As I said, Joel actually is going in super deep. He misses the first rocket, but he's able to get the second, and that is enough to force Ambro and Chicken. They're staying in this lobby though. They're going to get used right back into them. Not quite the play I was expecting, but let's see if it works out for them nonetheless. Ambro's going to lose his life first, so that's the medic down. The sentry goes down as well, and there's a whole lot of Captain on the point. There's just 2 plays left. It's just Kowski defaults in the spawn, and that is now 2-1 with 8.5 minutes remaining. Chicken are up, and wow, the Chicken are actually doing what Colin Cantor did in the first map, Snazzy. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, Chicken are really turning it around that way, and I mean, why wouldn't they? They know that they've got these massive viewer numbers coming in on the card. Which, by the way, thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is the main Season 29 of ozfortress semi-final. This mid is going, and I'm gonna let you do it.
Off there, Snazzy. Looks like Frank's gone down. He's now the first frag. Both Thermomans actually going down, but Chicken losing both soldiers as well. It's just the 2 scouts and the medic. They're gonna have to hightail it out of there, going all the way back to last. Colin Cantor just keep on chasing, but Chicken, they aren't leaving. They aren't leaving. This is going to be incredibly risky. 1 rocket, that's 2 rockets. Max goes down. They didn't leave. They overstayed their welcome, and Max has paid the ultimate price, and that has put Chicken in a really tough spot after an incredible round to bring themselves back into the lead. But looks like Colin Cantor aren't really making the most of it thus far. Lambda just trying to poke his way through the choke, but it looks like only now that Colin Cantor, now that they have their spawners up, are trying to make something happen. But this is certainly a less than ideal situation for Chicken, Snazzy.
Yeah, man, with 7 minutes left on the clock, I mean, Colin Cantor are just able to sort of take their time trying to push this in while they've got this Uber at. It's 60% though, and they are running out of time. They have come all the way through sewer, very fearful of any off classes, maybe a snipe.
Oh,
because he landed in on a sack. Oh my god, he gets it!
He gets the 4, so Ambro not going to make it drop number 4. But they're able to get 3 picks with it. They get 3 picks with the Uber. Max is coming up on his Uber very, very soon, but with only 3 players, this could be in a spot of bother here. Frank's going down super low, but the Uber gets popped just in time to save the little Demolitions man's life there. Looks like Colin Cantor are going to be forced out because of that. But they do still have the player advantage, so they are making their way through door 1. And massive, massive damage from Chicken, though, is going to completely hold this aggression. But is it enough? I don't think it is, and that's going to be 2-2 with 6 minutes or 6 minutes about remaining once we get to mid. I don't know. This game is really coming down to the wire, Snazzy. If that one wasn't indicator enough, this is going to be even closer, I feel.
Yeah, this is one of the most even games I've seen in a very, very hot minute. Coming into this one, though, I might just go through this mid, give you a quick break so you can catch your breath. We do actually see both teams taking the right-hand side, taking that high ground and trying to face off against each other. Oh, there's not really a hell of a lot going along. Most of the damage coming out from the soldiers here so far. We do actually see better control of the high ground from Colin Cantor here, but with Joel getting in there, trying to get some damage off, and Frank getting some damage as well. That is going to be Ambro going down with this Elad here. Lots of players low on Chicken.
Oh my goodness. Just the amount of aggression from Colin Cantor after they lose their medic was just unbelievable. All 3 of, like, I think it was like both scouts and one of the soldiers just all went on that weak combo, like all at the same time, just completely overwhelmed them. So while Ambro was one of the first ones to go down, it will ultimately be Colin Cantor taking this midpoint. And 2-2, 5 minutes remaining. You're holding mid now. This is certainly the position that you want to be in with so little time left.
Yeah, being able to hold mid here means that you still have these forward spawns and you're able to sort of like keep your aggression up, keep on trying to push into them. And with 4 minutes remaining, that's enough time to really play with, especially if you're on the up and up holding this mid, which is sort of the only real advantage, I guess, in terms of rounds that you can have.
And he's in, but he's not quite able to get the frag onto Frank. We'll see the counter sack, maybe? No, looks like Joel's just gonna poke a rocket through choke and say, nope, I'm not gonna go through there. So, even Ubers, more or less. Amber does have a little bit of a disadvantage, but I don't think Chicken would be aware of that. And Ambrose just coming up in his move, his Uber, as we speak. And Sniper. There's the Sniper on the midpoint, so they must have heard what I said before at the start of the game. They're trying to slow this thing down and really just find that one crucial pick that they need to really just take this round again from underneath Chicken's noses.
Yeah, we definitely saw this work so well for them on Sunshine, where they sort of slowed the game down and went, okay, let's take this some sort of tangible advantage, whether it is just the demo man or even if it is 2 picks, and be able to turn that around their way. Especially, they really held their nerves super late into that map, so I'm interested to see how long they're willing to play this slow style with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock before they have to do a golden cap.
Oh man, if this goes to a golden cap, that will be absolutely incredible. And right now, seeing how slow the game is going, excuse me, it certainly seems possible. Both the soldiers from Chicken really pressuring out the sniper from Sewer, but a massive air pipe there onto default. But Lambda able to get the trade still on the demo, so that massive air pipe just wasn't quite enough to save the Demolition Man's life. But the other demo, Frank just walks in and trades his life for it. Oh no, both scouts are completely disconnected from Max. They're both probably going to be losing life as well. Max is completely alone. He's the last one left at choke. Chicken are crumbling here, Snazzy. And that's one rocket, and Max finally uses his Uber just to try and run away. But Lambda's able to meet up with him and just lock them out at choke. But Jenga's in on Max. Oh, the Ubersaw onto Jenga. That is huge. Absolutely huge play there from Max. But Lambda going down, and now the Scout's coming in, and then massive. Oh my God, Frank! Oh no, that is 5 players down. It's just the sniper for Colin Cancer, and when things were looking so dire for Chicken, that's now a full wipe on the side of Colin Cancer with just over 2 minutes remaining. Snazzy, this could be a round for Chicken.
I think this might be the round for Chicken. Taking that Ubersaw there gives them another 25% to really play with it, even things up, and then Frank coming through with 4 fucking frags at choke, man. Holy dooly. This is looking so good for Chicken with only a minute left on the clock. It means if they can collect this round, they don't have to worry so much about flubbing a mid, because they're going to be able to sort of like rest on it, knowing that they have that 1 round ad. We do see the push getting ready to come on through. Mikcow, what's going to happen?
I may want to make you aware that Colin Cancer do have that engineer and heavy, so there is a lot of extra damage that they need to do in order to make this push work. Landon going down extremely before the push has even come in, and you can see Django really taking that sentry gun, but they are able to get that sentry gun down, and looks like they actually have used the Uber quite early, but they haven't really made any sort of progress. All the players super weak on Chicken, and just that brass piece heavy is doing work, just completely, a complete damage sponge at this point. And it looks like Frank's sort of caught up in this heaven area. Lander's going to go in, isn't going to find anything, and 1 minute left on the clock. Amber has that 100% Uber ad, that's a full wipe for Chicken, so it wasn't quite enough. But that was such a great attempt and a great push on the second nonetheless. Just couldn't really convert it. Colin Cancer, I'm going to push back out onto the second point with 100% Uber advantage. These things are looking quite convincing. It looks like, you know, about 99% of the time I think we're going to the golden caps, Nazi. I think I can almost guarantee that one.
I really don't think it's possible for Colin Cancer to push all the way to last here, so unless Chick turns this around in the next 10 seconds or so, it's going to be really difficult to call this.
If they really screw it up, this could be it, but it looks like Lambda going in far behind, just trying to make some progress there, but the Uber has come out from Colin Cancer, but they are only really able to get 1 or 2 picks. Both scouts now picking up the kill on Janga. They're just really scrapping it out, but Lambda going in for the pick, and it's all on this one scout, and that is all over. It is 2-2, and ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a golden cap.
Holy man, oh man. This is one of the most close games I think I've ever seen on Process. These teams are just sort of trading tit for tat on everything going on. We'll try to get these logs up, I believe, or are we going to be combining them at the end of this? We're probably going to combine them. So we won't talk about the logs right now. Holy dooly, man. This is like a really, really good game. And it's kind of do or die for chicken here. So, oh dear. So the golden
Well, it's not kind of. It is.
Yeah.
This one round could be the last round that chicken do this season, or it could save their chances and go to Snakewater, which, considering how close these games have been, is going to be just as much of a wild card if we do end up going to that third map. But yeah, Golden Cap in the lower page finals, map 2 of this series. Chicken, they had the chance, but they can't seem to really make their way into the last and just have enough momentum really to just deal with the off classes, it seems. They were able to get that sentry quite, it took them quite a while actually to get that sentry gun. I was looking at those soldiers there and they both took a lot of damage as well. So Cats really have those last holds down. They did lose 2 rounds, but that was due to them, I think, making a couple of errors or just, not really having the odds in their favor to begin with. But what's a chicken need to do, Stazzy, in order to really just deal with those off classes and just, that extra, 5% or 10% more damage that they need to really make these last pushes stick?
I mean, I think it needs to be a combo job. And by that, I don't mean like they're combo players. I mean like they need to, one, turn the aggression up a bit, I think, and sort of take more fights, but they need to take them together. It feels like with a lot of their pushes, they're sort of all doing different things at the same time, and they end up just sort of caught on their own, dying to 2 to 3 players, and the push gets flubbed because they're just not playing with each other as much as I feel like they need to, especially on that last push that they just did. Things just didn't go their way because it felt like a lot of their players were going up on top into that bunker area, as opposed to like playing the point or like trying to frag one thing at a time and focusing their fire. So I don't know. I think Chicken definitely has it within them to turn this around their way in 1 round and take us to a third map, but it's gonna be difficult for them given the pure momentum that Colin Cancer has here.
Yeah, they did look a little bit shaky. Those few drops there from Amber over this map, but they were able to keep it tied. But I think this mid is really going to be make or break for either one of these teams. I don't know if we're going to be seeing many risks on this Golden Cat mid. I certainly hope there's some big ballsy and big, no fear plays. But I honestly don't see that happening, especially from Chicken. I think that Colin Cancer definitely have, the opportunity to really take, initiative on this mid fight that will be coming up in just a few moments' time. But I don't know if that's really what Chicken need to do. Like you were saying, they really need to be more aggressive. They need to take some more initiative. And when everything's on the line like this, I don't know if they will have it in them, to be honest. But I've been wrong before, Snazzy. So let's hope I am wrong on this occasion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to see if Chicken can take this to the third map because they have been playing fairly well tonight. Things are sort of like janky at times, but like other times, I mean, Frank coming through with that fat frag count at a choke there.
Yeah, you can't forget Joel as well. Joel as well on that last hold, getting a 5k. So I think both teams have been playing exceptionally well. Especially for main standards, right? This is main. This is like supposed to be like the second lowest division. So
yeah, both of these teams are playing better than mine, man. I'm telling you that, like off the bat. Well,
that's a bit of controversy there. but nevertheless, this mid fight, so important, so important, and the mental game as well. Like these teams, we've been here for a long time, a very, very long time. About an hour and a half we've been sitting here, just on the computers, just watching some TF2, and here we are, Golden Cap. Everything is on the line. These players certainly might be feeling a bit fatigued. I don't know how long or how often these two teams scrim. I'm sure they've been scrimming a whole bunch leading up to this match, but an hour and a half straight of TF2 can get to you. So as a more experienced player than myself, Snazzy, what can you do as a team to counter the fatigue?
Oh, look, I wouldn't be harping on about my experience too much, but I think a good chunk of it is just sort of like taking the time to sort of like reset mentally to really, I mean, I don't want to say make a conscious effort to do it, because that's sort of like the worst way to do anything like that. But you sort of have to go, okay, this is where we're at now. Here's what we need to do to win the game. And I think both of these teams, there's a lot of experience on both of these teams, despite, like you said, it's Maine. It's supposed to be the second lowest division. Most of these games have been around forever. Well, not forever, but like a good chunk of time, whether in Highlander or in Sixes. Some of them are more new blood, but still not like fresh, if that makes sense. They're not. None of these players are sitting on a fresh meat roll in Icebreakers. Let me tell you it that way.
Well, they certainly might be sitting on a fresh meat roll in a competitive Team Fortress too, because we all know that's been dead for years.
Yeah, that thing died shockingly quickly. But yeah, so I think with the sort of experience that both of these teams have, I think they're not really going to struggle too much with the mental game here. But I think if you're chicken, you sort of got to be feeling, things aren't going your way when you know that they really should on paper. And you must be feeling some sort of pressure of that, especially with those
last pushes. This is do or die for them. This is do or die for them. If they weren't feeling any pressure at all, I'd be calling them aliens, in all honesty. Like, this one round determines if, they have a chance, if they keep their chances alive for that first place, or they're just going to sit for this, settle for this third place. So there will certainly be a whole lot of pressure on Chicken, but they do have team captain Liz there, hopefully in the VC, just trying to keep them calm, keep them focused, keep them collected, because they came so close so many times, Snazzy, through that map. They just didn't really have, that tiny little bit more, that tiny little bit extra to really just seal that that round.
Yeah, man, definitely one of those. We do actually see just through the chat, which the stream can't actually see here, that we've got a couple players, ducking outside, taking their time. You get a breath of fresh air before they come back. They come back into the game.
Yeah, why can't we do that? But we have to sit here and like entertain these wonderful viewers.
Absolutely. Right. And talking copious amounts of garbage is kind of like my forte as well. So it's definitely something that I kind of enjoy.
Well, I really like the idea, this plan of just, stepping away from the computer, going outside, going to the bathroom, or just getting some fresh air, having some water, having a smoke, whatever your cup of tea is, even if it is a cup of tea. Just to really just, bring your mind back into that Zen state, just really focused on the game at hand. Everything that's happened prior doesn't matter. Okay? What happened on Sunshine doesn't matter. What happened in the regular time of process doesn't matter. It's all in this one round, and this one round could, be make or break. We could be going, we could be ending this stream in the next 10 minutes, or we could be here for another hour and a half. Who knows?
Yeah, man. No idea what's going on, but I'm just hoping this one starts up kind of soonish. I mean,
I'm sure everyone does, because the longer this goes on, right? Like, the longer they still have to remain in that sort of focused state, because they've all been dialed in. They've now played 2 maps, and if they walk away for too long, right, they're gonna lose that focus, lose that concentration. Yeah, they'll regain some energy, and the ability to concentrate, but they still have to get back into the zone, when the comms are going crazy, when the adrenaline's running high, as it would be for both of these teams right now, especially for Chicken, considering it's do or die. They really need to remain calm but still be attentive, still need to remain focused throughout this entirety of this game, however long it may last, because there is, I believe, I don't know if the rules have changed, but I think there's so another 30 minutes, and then whoever has mid after that wins. No? Oh, it's
no time limit.
No time limit. So we could be here for an hour.
Yeah.
Theoretically, or 2 hours.
This is why I'm saying I hope they get it underway soon, because purely for selfish reasons, I would love to go to bed tonight, and I don't want to get stuck in like a 27-hour, cast.
Well,
Especially if Chicken's going to take this golden cap and take it to the third map, which is
well, I
Snake
don't know
Water.
how. I know you say your memories are pretty abysmal there, Snazzy, but I remember a certain team from ages ago who held last for 20 minutes on Badlands last in a golden cap. That was fun.
Oh dear.
Good reference for those OGs from season 21 open. But nevertheless, well, you know, just trying to burn time here as all these players are just trying to compose themselves, as we've been saying for basically the past, what feels like half an hour. But it is important. I can't stress enough. It is important that both these teams are focused. And as I say that, we have ready up. The countdown has started, ladies and gentlemen. This is the golden cap of map 2 of the ozfortress season 29, the main lower page grand finals. Well, lower page finals, like it's not the grand finals, but you know what I mean. This is the golden cap mid, and I'll take us away over this mid, and then we'll have a wonderful analysis from Snazzy afterwards. Look at default getting that pack early, but Frank unable to get that pack. Both teams again playing as pretty reserved mid. No team really looking to try and make any sort of aggression. They're just trying to sort of edge their way forward, just trading spam left and right. Both soldiers there just taking a bit of an arrow for both teams. But looks like Colin and Cancer are trying to take away this ground. It looks like Chicken are all caught near the sewer area. Could be bad, but they only get the demo man. Only Frank goes down. Kowski trying to hold his own at the choke, but that means it's 3 players down after he's fallen now to the guns of one of the scouts. And that means that Chicken, yet again, have won this midpoint, and their mids have been really, really good so far. They're trying to carry this momentum through. They're not giving me any time to shut up here. So it looks like Joel just wants to go, and he wants to take this second point, and they're going to be forced out at the last Colin Cancer. They're going to be really on the back foot, and this is exactly the kind of aggression and the kind of initiative that Chicken needed to start off this golden cap.
Yeah, I think the medical issue boys there were sort of like ready to hold second with their Uber there after, just beefing that attack on the mid. Holy dooly, Huffy getting in and fracking Kowski on a sack. But I think they were ready to defend second with the Uber there, but they sort of gave up on it and just backed out. They went, okay, look, at the moment, we haven't got the ground, we haven't got really anything to play with. We're going to have to get back into last. And especially with the way they left that mid, keeping their demo, their med, and one of their soldiers up, I think they were just very keen to not have anything snowball. They're playing it safe. So they know that, like, okay, this mid is very important. If we lose this, if we lose all our players, it's probably over. So it's really good to see them playing so safely. And with Huffy on Spy,
yeah, I was about to
kind
say,
of a good thing.
I'll be on cloaks now. He gets the buff, but he misses the stab, and he's just going to get completely obliterated by that level 3 sentry gun. So, but this is a hold that we've seen Colin Cancer do, many, many times before. The sentry gun's in the same spot, dispenser's in the same spot. So, if Chicken are able to identify that, but the Force are actually coming out onto Max. What a great bomb there from the blue soldiers, and just that's certainly gonna stop the aggression. And now Chicken, they'll be trying to only lose the second point, maybe get the Force off, maybe they're trying to delay as much as they can so that Max is able to get at least close to the Uber charge to really do it. But it looks like Joel getting quite a few nice rockets onto default, but Colin Cancer actually are going to try to push out from their last, but Lambda's not letting them have it for free. He's getting the distraction bomb in the Force. That is what they needed. Amber gets forced, Joel goes down, trades his life for it. But that is got to halt that aggression, so it's their own second point is as far as Colin Cancer willing to go, and Django is still on that engineer at last. Only now just switching up once the point has been capped.
Yeah, we did see them lose 2 players on that Force though. One of their players getting caught out at the far end of IT in middle there. Kind of not what you wanted to see, and it really opened the area for Kowski to, or Kowski, sorry, let me say it again properly, come through choke there and try to get a Force off. He wasn't really able to connect anything though, and with this Uber out, I think they're going to re-push second and just kind of have it for free.
Chicken working this corner. They've made their way through sewer. They're working this through corner, and Colin Cancer just having none of it. They're gone. They're gonski. Absolutely nowhere to be seen. Chicken takes the second point for free. Even Ubers. And attempt 2? Question mark? Maybe? Attempt 1.5? Maybe? I don't know. They're pushing last against Snazzy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they're definitely ready to push this one in, but I mean, the Ubers have reset. It's even once again, which is really going to put some pain into chicken here. Yeah, they haven't got a timer that they really need to worry about, so there's no pressure there. And again, this is definitely a spot where you want to be. Holding them in last, you sort of get the opportunity to send things through, try to get that force, try to get that feasible advantage, and just throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. You can really hold them in here, especially if they're running off classes, which they are. They have the NG. That you sort of get the opportunity to sort of keep trying to sack in, get that full. Speaking of which, Joel trying to sack in, getting absolutely memed by Sentry.
Yeah, and they're setting up the same hold again, Colin Cancer, so this hold has been working for them, like, I will give them that, but sooner or later, if they see this hold enough, Chicken, hopefully at least, will be able to find some way to break it, because no hold is impenetrable. Some are better than others, no doubt, but no hold is completely invincible. So hopefully Chicken are able to find some sort of way. Maybe that's utilizing this, this spy yet again. Or maybe it's using some other kind of off-class. So maybe, God forbid, we see an engineer of their own just to keep Colin Cancer at their last. Really put them under pressure, but it looks like Colin Cancer aren't really phased. They know their last holds are strong. But yeah, but the force, that one rocket Ambro, not really showing the same testosterone levels as Max did before, but he will get the force, so that's now a full Uber advantage for Max and Chicken. So that's one step closer, right? But the engineer and the pyro are certainly going to make this hard.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Joel's still in on Spy. He hasn't been seen yet. I don't think they even know he's there. He's so close to Ambro here. If he would be able to take out either Ambro default or Nerf on heavy, which it looks like he takes out Nerf and the force comes through.
There we go. This could be the push. It's 2 down now. 3 down. It could almost be 4 down. They're so weak. And there's another stab. Joel. Oh my goodness. That's Chicken taking the golden cap. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a third map. It's going to be Snake Water. That map's all tied up. Snake Water, a complete wild card for both these teams. This game has been absolutely tooth and nail, Snazzy. This is incredible.
Yeah, dude, this is some of the most interesting gameplay I think I've seen, especially out of Chicken, for a while. It's that golden cap went so much quicker than I thought it would. So now I'm willing to do a third map because it didn't take like a good 40 minutes for the golden cap. Joel really coming through on that spy class, able to take out that heavy so early. And like you said earlier, that Brass Beast heavy is such a damage sponge at this point. They're able to just like sit there with the heavy.
That's 450. No, I think it's actually theoretically
like 600 odd.
600, yeah, that's 600 health after the resistance just gone, just gone in a click, in a flash, in a blink of an eye. That is huge. Absolutely huge play from Joel. He's even able to get, I think, one of the soldiers as well as he was coming down from heaven. So a great play from Joel, but a great play from Chicken as a team. That kind of round where they just looked in control basically that entire time. They got forced once when they were trying to push last, and even then they were able to get the force on Amber, and Colin Cancer weren't able to get past into mid. Chicken held onto that midpoint the entire golden cap. And that kind of pressure, that kind of Chicken, is the Chicken that we want to see. That's the kind of Chicken that will win this third map.
I kind of feel like they may have been listening to me in the in-between of that golden cap there, where I was talking about how they needed to sort of like put their aggression together and just keep it going the whole time, because they definitely had that. They were playing better together. They were getting more players to shoot the same sort of thing, to bring it down quicker and to bring it down more effectively. And it just really went their way. And I believe we have these combined logs now, so we can actually have a quick chat through those before this map starts.
Well, you know me, I go straight to that DPM stat, and not quite as you'd expect. I mean, I guess it'd be what you would expect for the 2-2 game. Very, very even among basically all of the players on the server. I think the highest going to Lambda there with a 260. But he goes 18 to 24, so he's not really being able to live doing all that damage. And I think the lowest for Chicken is Huffy with a 172. So that is a very, very tight spread. Certainly tighter than we saw on the previous map, Sunshine. And I think that all these players are just so evenly matched in their respective classes that it takes one player that we saw like in both of those maps actually. There's that one player to make an insane play or a chain of insane plays. And that's all that either of these teams need to really get that momentum in their favor and just steamroll it across to the enemy last and to take the rounds that they need.
Yeah, definitely a pretty standard log for a game that even, especially with it taking 36 minutes overall for that map. I do want to shout out to Nerf, bro. He had a pretty good game, 30 for 14 with 11 assists, which gives him a kill assist death ratio of 2.9, which is pretty fat. I mean, dropping a 30 bomb, you're always you're cheering. You're cheering, mate.
Yeah, but Django as well doing well to stay alive. Not putting as much damage as probably he would hope, but going with a 3.8 KAD and 2.1 KD, he's certainly living. He's doing his job, trying to protect Amber as best as he can. Probably not as well as the chicken are protecting Max, as you can see on the death stats there as well. Max with the least number of deaths on the server, and actually Django having less deaths than Amber. So take that as you will. But he is able to, keep himself alive, which certainly keeps the pressure on. Even if you're not doing the damage, just the threat of the damage and just area denial is also quite crucial. And it's actually also quite crucial on Snakewater in particular, because this map, I think we're getting progressively more and more open as this game goes on. We started on Sunshine, right? And now we've been on Process, and now we're at Snakewater, which I don't know any of the new maps, in all honesty, but from the OG maps has probably one of the hardest last points to push. And we've been seeing both of these teams struggle on the last pushes before. So this could be a very low scoring game. I'm curious to see how these teams adapt to this third map, because now it's do or die for both of these teams, not just one. Chicken hoping to keep that momentum going, but Snakewater similar to the maps that we've seen before, but in other ways quite different. Why do you run us through those differences and similarities, Snazzy?
Don't you go putting me on the spot like that. You know,
mate, you have far more experience than I do, mate.
I mean, look, Snakewater is definitely a different map to the last two. So Sunshine and Process are kind of played very similar in that they're a bit flowy. It's a bit easier to sort of go, okay, we've got this point, we can definitely take the next one. Whereas Snakewater, I mean, once you've taken the high ground on this mid, which is far more effective than on the other two, in my opinion, just because of where it actually perches you, and you can get far more aggressive on the mid, I think it's going to reward whichever team decides to sort of like take that aggression together. So even if it isn't chicken, if Colin Cancer are just doing their normal thing here, they sort of like pick a side and sort of rotate their whole team around, as we were seeing on Process, where they would bring their team all the way around the mid, ring around the rosy, I believe you referred to it, and they would just sort of like, by playing together, frag things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now they've won the mid. So once they win that mid, it's a pretty short push, I would say, onto the second point. But with that second point being so like wide out, it's kind of difficult to cap the point and still be capitalizing upon the player ad that you have, unless you're leaving, one, maybe two players there and pushing into that lobby. But it's sort of that lobby and last area that it sort of stalemates, because it's kind of easy to end up caught there with players on the other side of the shutter door, for instance, that you can't really push unless you're Ubering, unless you get some sort of strange push through lower if no one's looking, or you've still got some sort of player ad if you've pushed very quickly. So it's going to be difficult to sort of talk about how this map is going to go without seeing how they're going to be playing these mids. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's definitely going to be interesting, but with all these front page viewers, thank you for tuning in. We're going to just hope to, put on a good show for them, I think.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, welcome to all the new viewers who are just joining us. This is CappingTV's coverage of ozfortress Season 29 main lower page finals. This is the third map of a best of 3 series. We saw Colin Cancer currently in blue, taking the first map, Sunshine, with a very close 2-1 scoreline, and then Chicken coming immediately answering back with a 3-2 in our second map Process on in a golden cap, no less. So these two teams very, very evenly matched. So I don't think we'll be seeing a game as close as this in a while. But then again, I hope I'm wrong with that one. But these two teams have really put on quite a spectacle for us. I'm really, really thankful for that one.
Yeah, it's definitely been a very, very good game to be watching and casting. A lot going on. I'm worried on this map because, so I play med. I play a lot of med because I can't play anything else because brain too slow, you know, all that. So I always find that this map as medic is like a bit difficult because there's so many different like little corners that the soldiers and scouts can sort of come around and just frag you instantly. There's so many things that you really have to be on your A game. And with Ambro dropping
it was three times.
Three times? Yeah,
three
on the last map. He's gonna need to be very fearful. I mean, we've been singing Max's praises all night. He's obviously gonna need to be pretty fearful himself, but I'm not fearful for him, if that makes sense. I'm more worried about Ambro and having these sack happy soldiers on Chiken in Joel and Lambda. I tell you, fake nicking's gonna be the death of me. Joel and Lambda.
It's sack happy. What was the term you just used? Sack happy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's certainly one way to describe him. Especially Joel, kept trying that single soldier sack, over and over and over again, and eventually was able to get the drop onto Ambro. But the thing with Ambro's drops, right, is that they're just happening at probably the worst possible times. It's when they're holding last. It's when they're about to push into last. It's it's not just we're in a stalemate, and we're holding their second, and they're just sort of it's like an unlucky headshot or something. No, they're pretty fundamentally bad drops to be having. So that certainly would have shook his confidence a little bit. But hopefully he's able to put that behind him. Like I was saying before the golden cap, all of the games up to this point don't matter. It's just the here and the now, the final map to decide it all. Who's taking away that third place and who is going to advance into next week's grand final for ozfortress main season 29. And boy, oh boy, this could be quite the grindy game. We've already seen it in these past two maps, how even these teams have been. And on a map such as Snakewater, where, the pushing the last can be quite hard and quite stalematey, and as well as pushing into second can be quite difficult. It is a bit easier than it was on, say, a map like Sunshine or Process, just because of how open and how many entry points there are. It still can be quite difficult. Pushing into second from mid on any map in Team Fortress 2 is never easy, just from the nature of the game itself and how these maps are designed. Having that defender's advantage, as we like to call it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious to see if any of these teams adapt the styles, and I'm doubly curious, Snazzy, if we're able to see the chicken that we saw in that golden cap come out, no holds bar, and just completely, come out in full force to start this third map. Because if they're able to do that, they are able to really, make Colin Cancer go, okay, what do we do now? They're on, they're back. And Chicken... Yeah. When Chicken are on, they are a scary force to be reckoned with.
For sure, man. I mean, I have to say, and I probably should have admitted this earlier in the car. I mean, look, I have to. I'm backing the Chicken boys here, man. They're definitely going to take it. I'm a previous Chicken member myself. I've joined the Hall of Fame. I just want to thank the Academy. But yeah, dude. I mean, I think Chicken could take this, but with the sort of consistent dominance that Colin Cancer have been showing, I don't know if it's starting to fray around the edges. I don't know if Chicken's managed to get them into this spot where they're going to be able to win this one pretty convincing. But it does look like both teams have readied up
in 30 minutes time. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is map 3, the final map of ozfortress main season 29 lower page grand finals. After this map, one of these two teams will be going home, and the other will advance into next week's grand final. The first mid now on Snake Quarter. Both Demermen arrive to mid basically at the same time. Not really much damage being exchanged. Actually, as I say, that default going down extremely low, all the way down to 40 HP. Ambrose under pressure already now. The double soldier bomb from Colin Cancer. They're actually unable to really get anything, but they are actually able to get Max. Max goes down, Lambda goes down as well. Now the counter-sack's coming in. That's 4 players down actually now from Chicken. But one of the scouts now is able to get Ambro coming in from this dungeon area. So that is both medics down. That's the saving grace for Chicken there. But Colin Cancer really showing that Golden Cat was just, an anomaly in the game plan, and they're able to take this first mid and take off this second point as well, unless the red soldiers have something to say about that. Both of them are dropping onto this point, really just forcing Kowski out of there, and it looks like the fighting isn't really going to stop anytime soon. It looks like both teams actually backing up now, just going to reset, and we're going to have a mid to second point stalemate for this third and final map, Snazzy.
Yeah, dude. That was such a interesting mid. So many different fights going on throughout the course of it. And you have to be crushed if you are Colin Cancer there, losing a med right at the tail end of that mid. That was nearly a shoe-in round for them, but they just weren't quite able to complete that with, I believe it was Huffy coming around behind and just absolutely drilling Ambro, totally unseen. It's in the even Uber spot now where we're going to be looking at another nice long stalemate. Classic Team Fortress going on here, guys. So we'll just have to see how they really want to play this. We do see that there is a sniper though, so I'm not sure if that's going to make a big impact or not.
Well, I don't know if I believe that is Spartan on that sniper class. I don't know if he's actually been spotted. He's trying to peek through window, which is quite a hard angle in all honesty, I should say. Normally see snipers peeking from lower dungeon, but Huffy going down to 40 health. So tempting fate there. Django just throwing a nice rap assassin across the point. You love to see it. But yeah, just going back to that mid fight, there wasn't really much cohesion from really either team. We saw the double soldier bomb going in from Colin Cancer onto Max, able to get that kill. But the double meat from Huffy there just really saving it and just saving the round, really, because if Ambro were to stay alive, I think that definitely would have been a round, or at least a really solid attempt of a round for Colin Cancer there.
Yeah, they would have been able to sort of roll straight through second and take that Uber into the last, but we're just going to have to see how they play this now with the stalemate. This is kind of their bread and butter, though. Looking at the last two maps. Playing it slow, going, okay, let's find a tangible ad and then push it.
The saw trap is going to quickly clean up Spartan there on that sniper roll. So we're going to see a counter sack. Lambda looking through kitchen. He's actually going to opt to go from under. No, he has both scouts staring at him, and that is definitely a no-go. That's like Soldier 101. Don't jump into two scouts that were staring at you, especially when both scouts are on the high ground, Snazzy.
Yeah, definitely not a spot you want to be in.
So we're just seeing both teams sort of exchange spam. Nothing really happening now. Spartan has swapped back onto Soldier, but yeah, I'm not sure I really agree with this. The sniper, well, yes, it didn't really work out that time. Maybe, try Spy or try something else. We do see the combo from Colin Cancer just trying to make their way into the dungeon. The whole combo, actually, there's 5 players. I think they're just trying to brute force this, maybe. They're trying to make some space. Spartan's in, he gets 1 rocket. A nice surf, but doesn't have another rocket loaded. And if only he was using the Liberty launcher, he would have probably got that drop. But we'll never know. The rocket launcher needs 5 rockets.
I think that would make it pretty busted. But
it was
definitely a very good sack. His team sort of walking him in onto that ground area there, sort of really forcing Max and his team on Chicken there to rotate in a specific way, which kind of gives Spartan the option of bombing and knowing more or less exactly where he's going to be. It was just, he was so close, but he just wasn't quite able. It was so close.
Kowski and Joel exchanging a bit of spam. Spartan is going very low. He's actually going to die to the rockets of Lambda, who's going to escape with 23 health. So looks like Joel's the sacker for Chicken. It looks like Spartan is doing basically the exact same thing. for Colin Cantor. But just from the nature of how Colin Cantor are holding, Chicken aren't really able to make any sort of counterplay whatsoever.
Yeah, it's definitely stuffing them into a corner and really pushing them into this spot where they can't really do anything to return on the aggression that they're facing. It's just, it's very difficult.
Don't look now, Snazzy, but we have a spy. So they've tried the sniper, didn't work, tried the soldier, didn't work, so now they're going to try the spy. What's next, the pyro? Engineer? Heavy? Probably heavy. But we'll see what Spartan's able to do on the sneaky Frenchman and see how his team supports him, because the team support on that last soldier sack was really good. Was really good, just Spartan wasn't able to get that one last rocket that he needed. But he's now made his way all the way around. Actually, as I said, Mikcow's going to fall to Joel. So that could actually work in Colin Cantor's favor, because that starts to bring Chicken out. Starts to bring them moving forward, and that gives Spartan a bit more room to work with, but they're moving out very far. They're actually trying to push out of this point now. The Uber gets forced from Amber. He's going to use that Uber charge, and Max drops the stab, comes in. Joel, no, that's not Joel, that's Spartan actually, my mistake there. Spartan with an amazing stab, and that has really put a wrench in Chicken's plan. They were able to get the force nice and early. Max was trying to milk that as much as he can, but Joel with 3 kills at the tail end of that fight. Oh my goodness, that is quite the demolition, if I do say so myself. And Kowski is very weak on this pipe. Default taking a nice rocket to the face as well. But Lambda, 18 health, he's waiting for this pack, and the sticky snipe from Default is going to claim that frag. But after this whole exchange, nothing seems to really be happening. They're still fighting over the second point. Default might actually get caught out. He goes down very low, down to 50 health. Spartan's able to escape with his life. Kowski also going down very low. But Spartan goes in, gets 1 rocket, and he gets cleaned up by Joel. And we have another reset. So after an entire fight, Snazzy, we haven't even moved a centimeter. Or an inch for those American folk watching the stream.
Yeah, but they don't count as people, so no real need to cater towards them. I can say
okay, bye American
lived there
viewers.
for a while. But
bye American viewers. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry for my co-caster's very offensive words. But Chicken actually trying to make their way in. Spartan's going to trade with Lambda, and this whole Max drops again with a massive triple kill from Default Stickies. It is just Joel left alive. He's sitting in this dungeon area trying to escape with his life. He grabs the health pack, but the entire team are converging on him. He leaves with 22 health. Is it going to be enough? Yes, he escapes with his life. But Lambda eating a pipe from Default as well. And Default, like you were saying before, has definitely been training both his pipes and his stickies. Quite a contrast to last week, from what I have heard. And he's certainly put in a lot of work. And now with this 40% about 40% over advantage, Colin Cantor actually going to try and look to push into this last point. But the Engineer, Heavy, and Sniper, so the triple util from Chicken, on a last that is very hard to push in as is. This is going to be quite the task, even with that 40% over advantage.
Yeah, look, even pushing this with a 40% Uber ad, I thought they were going to push early where they still had that player ad. The Uber has actually come through.
Yeah, they're trying to do what they can, but Default isn't able to get anything along with, I think that's Nerf there, the other scout in that Uber. Just completely botching that push. They weren't able to get anything, Snazzy. Not a zip. But the post is coming in. Spartan's able to pick up 2, so that's now 3 up for Chicken. The Uber has been forced out. Lambda is going to get that kill, but he's going to get caught off with some excellent sticky placement now. Max is going to surf at what a surf from Max there, surviving that with 30 health. But is this quite enough? They're still trying to push in. Looks like the Blue Combo trying to make their way, playing around this truck. Kowski taking a lot of damage. Now it's Joel coming in. He's going to get the trade kill. Kowski's going to go down very low. He's going to die as well. Default and Amber escaping with their lives, along with Spartan. And now Chicken are going to try and use this player ad to try and push out of last. 2 amazing rockets there onto Spartan. And yeah, they're going to be able to push out of last. So things are really starting to pick up in the pace, and I think I need a moment to breathe, Snazzy. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, man. Rest those tired lungs. We did actually see that they have pushed out here, but I'm not sure how long it's going to be living as a push here, because they are facing an uber disadvantaged push here. So yeah, they've managed to use that player ad to take that second area, give themselves some room to breathe, like my co-caster is gathering now. And in the course of that, they have managed to take the second area, but not really anything else. We do see Kowski coming in for a bit of a sack into that cheese area. He does end up going down for that, taking down a Lambda very low. But yeah, it's just going to be another bit of a reset. It's even Ubers on second. We're back where we were around about 7 minutes ago. 19 minutes left on the clock. I mean, both teams are fairly comfortable here.
Joel trying what he can at what he does best, but it gets completely denied by the scouts. Again, don't jump at the scouts that are staring right at you. But you know, it was worth a shot. It's worked once from before, you know, and once out of 20 times, you know, that's definitely a good success rate for a single soldier sack, especially with how well you know, and just how well both of these teams are playing. In all honesty, they're both showing lots of cohesion, lots of great teamwork, and lots of support for one another. There's been a couple slip-ups here and there because, you know, this is main. But you know, both of these teams, you wouldn't expect this kind of play from main teams. So props to both teams for giving us such a close and, you know, a nice tidy game with lots of huge plays from both sides. But Kowski on this sniper, just trying to make his way into the saw, trying to spot any heads that he can get. Frank just crouching behind the radioactive waste, just trying to save his head. Kowski going down fairly low. And I think that Colin Cantor aiming again to play off this sniper, just try and make room for Kowski to, you know, just get one of the picks that he needs, maybe isolate one of the players if they're able to. But as I'm saying, that Lambda's now in behind, he's right on the medic, the force, he gets one rocket on, and that is a force on Ambro, and with Kowski on sniper, this could go pretty bad for Colin Cantor if Chicken play their cards right.
Yeah, Chicken definitely needed that sort of advantage here. They have managed to secure this big 70% advantage at the moment. It is running down slowly, and losing Joel there to Kowski on the sniper, not exactly what they want to see. They're going to have to push at least one player down if they want to use this ad.
Are they even going to push?
They must. They must.
They're moving very slowly. Like, Ambro's already at 80%. I don't think they're going. I don't think that they've taken too long. Like, this is that might be quite the misplay. I don't know. They just, you know, didn't want to risk it because it is map number 3, and it is still 0-all. So it is even, but they're actually pushing now after Ambro gets his Uber. I don't know if they just weren't counting Ubers properly, or they just, you know, wanted to really wait for Joel to spawn. But that mistake has really cost them. Both Frank and the other of the scouts there going down in that Uber fight, and Joel's gonna die as well. Smax is gonna go down as well with the amazing cutoff from Spartan, able to pick up the medic, and I think just waiting too long, that's gonna cost them the round, Snazzy.
Yeah, Mikcow, I really cannot see this going any other way. With this huge Uber ad, and still with 2-player ad, the med still hasn't spawned. I mean, yeah, Lambda's behind, though. He is able to delay things a little bit because he's been seen there. He's coming out on that grass area. Both soldiers there to meet him, though, and Jenga cleaning him up in the end. But yeah, look, 90% versus 20%. It's looking pretty good for colon cancer here. I can't imagine that this push isn't coming, and with it, probably the round.
They don't make the same mistake, sure, but it looks like they're going to come in through top left. There's lots of space. Looks like Chicken aren't really putting any pressure on them as of yet, and Colin are just going to lock them into this corner. The gun's going to go down. The heavy's going to go down very weak as well. Lambda on that pyro trying to do all that he can, but it's not enough. Default with the stickies, and that is round number 1. And that was, you know, just off that one mistake, you know, that not counting the Ubers properly and just pushing way too late when they probably should have just stayed on the second after it took so long for Joel to spawn. That's cost them the round, Stazzy, and that's put them on the back foot, and that first round has taken half of the total map time. So 15 minutes left on the clock as we go into the second mid. Both of the demos sort of trading spam again. Default actually going down fairly low, but he does have the beam. Kowski going in super deep. He's gonna have one of the scouts on his ass. But Lambda's able to pick up the first kill onto Spartan. But that's about the only kill that Chicken are gonna get, as Chicken completely wiped. Kowski getting a 4K after going behind in that dungeon, and just wow, that is certainly gonna be having Chicken on edge, I should say.
Yeah, dude, that whole mid just fell apart for Chicken. Kowski coming up behind, really pinching them in there as the rest of his team pushed forward. Super cohesive, just totally able to mince them, put them against the wall, and just turn them into meat. It really isn't what they want to see here. This full Uber Dis is not what they want to see either, and it looks like the push is coming straight on through.
They need to force Amber early here. Amber, again, is basically taking all of the space. They've made it all the way to the truck again without using this Uber, so they're going to get caught in this corner yet again. And they're making the same mistake that they did last time. Lambda's doing all that he can, but Default and Kowski putting in work. But the Soldier looks like Joel is doing all that he can now. It's 2v1 now.
I think Spartan can take this. Oh my lord. Wow.
So, after getting caught in that back left corner from their perspective, Chicken are able to hold on to that, and props to Chicken for holding that, but in my opinion, they got very lucky that wasn't round number 2. Like, I don't know, you can run us through the analysis there as Jenga actually is on Spy yet again.
Yeah, so while Jenga works his way on in nice and slow, I mean, it was such a good push out of Colon Cancer, pushing them into that corner again, not getting... They didn't even have to use until they were already at the truck. Like, it shouldn't happen more than once, man. It's not what you want to see. Chicken only just clutched that round. Spartan managing to take out their med there as well, which is awful. Jenga coming in for the stab. Holy shit! I'm gonna have to keep sitting here forever, man.
Well, there is one round on the board, and Colin Cancer are in the driving seat here, but Jenga going down. Unfortunate, not able to get that stab and probably make it a 2-0. So they botched. I don't see them botching 2 pushes in a row, but Chicken aren't able to really make anything of it. Frank goes down very low, so he's out of that equation, and now Jenga's up again. I think. Is he committed? Yeah, he's committed again on the Spy. So the double Spy play. 2 in a row.
It's the best kind. It's the best kind, because no one expects the Spy to come out twice. If you catch a Spy once, you know that they're not going to come back up on Spy, because it's a terrible idea. So but
that makes it a brilliant idea.
Exactly.
It's so terrible, it's brilliant. Absolutely, I love that. But yeah, he's just making his way through kitchen and dungeon yet again. But surely Chicken suspects something, right? Like, most of them have played a lot of Highlander, and have experienced quite the unorthodox strategy, quite a few unorthodox strategies before. So surely they see that Colon Cancer aren't really putting a whole lot of pressure, which means that something's up yet again, because Default is a player that loves to pad his DPM stats, as well as Kowski. As and of course Spartan has gone for those sack plays yet again, and none of that's happening right now. So surely that's ringing some alarm bells. So I think Spartan just straight up shot Jagger on bats, which was quite funny to see. Of course, these players can't see it unless they were cheating. So
we do see a lot of Chicken actually turning around and looking for this Spy.
Oh, but it's not enough. Franks goes down. So that's a demo pick. Default now gets a nice pipe, 2 pipes, gets the force. Max really doesn't want to drop Lambda in that. So Kowski and Jenga are going to be the 2 picks that they get for that Uber. But now 100% Uber ad for Amber, yet again. They're holding this midpoint. They're going to just wait for the spawners and just try to maybe slow push this, or do they go fast through Saw and just try and, kill as many players as they can?
God knows which way they really want to take it. I think if I was them...
Well, Default wants to go
come round through grass, which it does look like Default's ready to do. We actually see the force come through. Lambda coming around to that top end again, getting the force on Amber as he comes into second. So fat, definitely able to stop them from pushing directly into last.
We've been talking a whole lot about the whole, the kill streaks, the frag chains, as it were, for like the likes of, default, with the likes of, you know, a Joel and, you know, and the like, but Lambda has been doing so much work for his team, just getting those forces. He's not getting the kills that it doesn't reflect in the logs, but he's getting the forces that Chicken need to stay alive. And that trap could have been so bad. Default just unable to get that one in time. But it looks like that Chicken are going to take second point yet again. Uber's basically even, about 25 to 20% add for Chicken. And it looks like Frank actually wants to go. They want to go. They want to take this small Uber. It's now down to 5%. Max is down to 70 health. Now the Ubers are even. They don't have the numbers here on this midpoint. The Uber now has been used from Amber. The Uber's now getting counterpopped by Max. And, wow, Frank actually getting the pick on the Jenga as well. So that's a frag and the Uber. And they have all the position. They're going to take mid. And Chicken has pushed out a second. That's
perfectly played.
That's an amazing play.
So they pushed in and they took that ground nice and early. Yes, they get the force to come out, and then they waited just that crucial couple of seconds and were able to get the Uber to turn out better for them.
Yeah, but they're not waiting now, though. They're not waiting anymore, though. It looks like Frank and one of the other scouts up there going down. I do believe that is raised. My mistake, they're raised. But yeah, both of those going down. It's now 3 players down for Chicken, as opposed to only Kowski. But Joel, he's now above. He's got one rocket onto Ambro, but isn't quite able to hit the second. So it looks like they're going Cats are actually just going to take this midpoint yet again. Ray's going to get picked up by Spartan. Frank able to get that trade kill, but here we are yet again. Even Ubers. Chicken are holding their second. One player down on each side. Default looks keen to go on this grass, but he decides better of it. And haven't we been here before, Snazzy?
I feel like we have been a couple of times, but the only difference is with only 7 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, Chicken needs to start feeling the pressure. And losing a player there to a trap in Saw, not what they need to be able to like force any sort of advantage. They do have that sniper though down in that lower area, which might be able to get something for them, but there is a sack coming through. Looks like Max in a pretty good spot to actually avoid that one entirely. Yeah, he doesn't take any damage. So that is a counter sack. And once Joel is back up here, I think Chicken needs to start using their Ubers aggressively rather than sort of passively. Because they're not really going to be able to force anything to happen. But it does look like they're taking my advice and they're using through.
Yeah, they've given Huffy an amazing angle. He hasn't been able to really hit anything just yet. Amber has popped his Uber. And the counter pop again has come out from Chicken. You see Ray's trying to shoot down Nerf. He's going to get that frag with the help of Frank on that demolitions class. But the post-super fight is in so much a better position for Colin Cancer. Default's just doing the work, but they are losing the players, Snazzy. I think they're going to have to leave. And Chicken have now taken this midpoint. They're now one step closer, 6.5 minutes remain. They're only down 1 round. So it certainly isn't over. And if they're able to keep this momentum going, deny these forward spawns, which it doesn't look like they're going to. No, but you know, one soldier sitting in that.
Did they see him?
Did they see him? I don't think they have.
Oh no!
No one saw it. No one's seen them. So this could be pretty bad. Oh, he back spawns. Oh no. So, but here we are. Now the shoe's on the other foot. So Chicken now have an opportunity to push into last. Even Ubers, they have that sniper already. So you already have that push condition, you know, that one pick, and Huffy actually going super deep. Absolutely no fear. He's going all the way to the truck, Snazzy, but he's gonna die to the pain train of Default and a nice cheeky taunt to go along with that one. That was quite an aggressive peek, if I do say so myself.
It was so bold. I do want to take this moment just to like blow Max a little. That dude is so good in that mid fight. He was hit with a double soldier sack, and he just surfed all the way across the map to land on the health pack and just go, and? Like, is that it? He's just been dodging rockets like crazy, like, all this game, man. Both
here we go.
Of the previous map.
Huffy's on his main. I don't even know if it's his main, but he's on class number 9. He's on that sneaky Frenchman spy. He's sitting near tires, and he's just trying to find just one opening to get through. Yes, he's now gotten through. He can see where the gun is. So now that they have an engineer, And I don't think he can see really any of the other off classes, because that is the only off class for colon cancer. For just under 5 minutes remaining, so they have plenty of time to slowly make their way through and really, you know, take this final push methodically. I don't think they've noticed the spy yet.
I don't think they have, but if you are on spy here, what do you go for? Do you go for some sort of guaranteed pushable advantage, like sapping the sentry, or do you go for the demo man here, which they have killed?
He's killed the demo man. So that's absolutely no patience there from Chiken. They're going to go straight into it. The sentry gun goes down. The Ubers have been exchanged. A little bit of a better exchange for colon cancer because Chiken having to flash that little bit extra, but the extra picks coming through. It's 3 picks now, but the point, there's 2 soldiers on the point. Oh my goodness, that distraction play almost worked perfectly now. It's just going to be the 2 scouts raised. He's able to get 1 pick onto Spartan, but it isn't going to be enough. They tried, Snazzy, but it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, Chiken finally, like, sort of playing the point in the middle of their fight, but they played it with 2 soldiers who were both low by the time they could even get there. It just kind of isn't the push that they really need. But, look, with, I mean, it's only 30 Uber this ad, and I don't think colon cancer is going to be super eager to push this out here.
There's 3.5 minutes.
They may show me to be a liar, but I don't think they're going to be super eager to push out. So Chiken's kind of in a decent spot where they can, like I've said before, they've got the time here with 3 minutes to throw things at the wall and see what sticks.
They've got a couple of attempts left. Lambda is in super deep, but he's going to get everyone going for the X shot onto him, but it's going to be Nerf picking up that kill, but he does get the dispenser, so that's a crucial pick that that Lambda was able to get. I don't think it's quite a pushable advantage at this stage, but no. We'll see what they're able to do. Now just clocking just under 3 minutes. The time is ticking, Chiken. Come on. I mean, they need to try something. They need to try something really bold. Like maybe even like a double or even a triple stack at this point. Like, I don't know what else they need to do. Default's under a lot of pressure. The Force! There's the Force! Okay, then they should just run back, reset, heal up, make sure that they don't give up lobby control. Oh, but Lambda goes down! Lambda goes down, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Okay, so they have the super advantage, Snazzy. This could be it. This is their chance. This is their chance. 2 and a bit minutes left on the clock. Realistically, this is their last shot.
I mean, they can maybe flub this one last push, but they can't lose the second off it. And we do actually see them going under, which is definitely the Uber that they really should be getting here. It looks like Chaoski has seen them early.
Oh, Default! Default with a massive trap, able to pick up Raised and Frank in that one. Huffy gonna go down as well. Lambda sacking in, and that trap could be the map. That could be it. Default's now on a 5k, and oh no, that has got to be demoralizing. Just 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. There's enough time to go for another push, but I think. Well, I hope, you know, actually I stand corrected. They're just gonna sit on last for this last minute and a half. They're not gonna take this second point. So Chiken have one more stab in it, but they don't really have any advantage to go off. And Nerf on that brass beast heavy, the engineer with that level 3 sentry and level 3 dispenser as well, keeping Amber as topped up as he can, as well as Lambda going down to Kowski. Things are looking grim, really grim. Harvey as well going down to the level 3 sentry.
Yeah, I mean, with that push, they weren't able to do anything after they lost those 2 players. Their scout, like, tried to get in, but with the sentry there and the heavy as well, there was no way he was doing anything. It was, man, it was such a bad push, but they have got this Uber now, and this is their last chance. This is their last chance to win this.
There's less than a minute left on the clock, even Ubers. 2 defensive off classes on Snake Water, no less. Very tough ask, but the Uber has come in. They are going to focus the sentry first. The sentry gun gets a player. It gets raised. And the pipes are coming in. Kelsey goes down, but Chiken are so incredibly low. Frank's going to go down, but he's going to trade with Nerf. The points! The point! He's got a point!
Oh my god!
No! Oh no! Oh my goodness. Joel, it's not going to be enough. 10 seconds left. Max is going to do all that he can against 4 players. Default's going to clean up that frag with the sticky bombs. 3, 2, 1, and ladies and gentlemen, colon cancer are going to the grand finals of Maine in ozfortress for season 29, and what a set!
Man, what a set of games. You are exactly right. Mikcow, that was... dude, my heart is like all over the shop. It's a real emotional roller coaster watching through that one. Chiken just coming so close to turning that one around to their favour. At the very least, taking this to a golden cap.
That last push should have been a complete failure, but they were able to get time on the point and almost just sneak that cap. They just, another, second, half a second even, and that would have been 1-1, and we would have been going to a second golden cap in this set. But it's not to be. Congratulations to Colin Cancer for making it to the grand finals, and man, that was absolutely incredible. I'm gobsmacked at how close that game was and how well both teams played. But in the end, it's the little things that count, and that sticky trap from default really just put Colin Cancer in such an advantageous position, just holding that last point and basically eradicating the only feasible chance that Chiken had to really take that second round.
Yeah, we have got these logs up. We can have a quick look at those ones. The 30-minute one-round game, a classic of Team Fortress. We see default coming through big once again.
18-2.
18 for 2 with 266 DPM, the highest in the server. Holy fuck, that's a KD of 9.
Oh no. That is utter domination. Which considering that those stats from default, props to Chiken for keeping it to one round. Lambda doing a lot of work getting those forces. It doesn't show here in the stats, but the plays that he made and when he made them were key in keeping Chiken in this fight. And Max as well. Max, has shown his skill as a medic, throughout this entire set. But in the end, it just wasn't quite enough. Ambro really fixing the mistakes that he made in the last game, only dying 3 times in this entire map, Snazzy.
Yeah, dude. We do see another fat game coming out from Nerf as well, 18 for 5. Not quite as impressive as default there, but another big game from him. Oh man, this was like big games all around. Chiken just not... They were so close, man. They were so close. I told you I was backing these dudes too, so it's crushing. It hurts.
They were 95% of the way there, Snazzy. They just couldn't quite convert it when they needed to.
Yeah. But I believe we do have some gamers here for the interviews. We have Default, Huffy, Max, and Spartan. That's 2 players from either team. Fellas, Chiken,
hey,
what happened?
What's up?
I just say, guys, to both team representatives, what a set. What a best of 3 that we have witnessed there. It was so close in all 3 maps. So props to both teams here in this interview room for giving us such a great game to cast, and a great game for the viewers, I'm sure, as well. To start this off, I have to go to Default. Man, Default, you put in a lot of work in these 3 maps. Just looking at the stats, 18-2 in this last game, 266 DPM with a KD of 9. Just insane game. So how was that for you? And I think Snazzy told me that you were the main caller as well for Colin Cancer. So just what a game, mate. Just run us through it and how it was from your team's perspective.
I mean, like, after coming into Snake Water after losing process, we just kind of like all went for a drink of water and then cooled off and then just got back into it. Microing wasn't too bad tonight, to be honest. Like, people were doing exactly what they needed to. So yeah, my team was just on point, I guess, tonight.
Yeah,
it definitely really kind of showed, especially in that last map. You guys were fairly dominant, sort of shutting down everything that really came at you, especially as they were like trying to sack in gamers. I did notice Chicken fellas, Lambda, you and Joel were very sack happy. Was that like an intentional thing, or were you guys just seeing like, okay, I see an opportunity, I am taking it?
I'm Roma.
Okay, so it definitely was like a time to go in sort of job. Fair enough.
I don't know. It's really, you can't do much else against a team like this. You kind of just, like, if players are playing passive, you just have to kind of really just kind of send one player at a time while keeping your team passive. I don't know. That's kind of what our game plan was, just really slow the game down. But, you know, they slowed the game down more, so what can I say?
Yeah.
It was certainly a very slow and methodical game from both teams, especially on that final map. But even though it doesn't come through in the logs, Lambda, some of the plays that you made were absolutely crucial to keeping Chicken alive. I think.
So when are we getting an Uber's forced stat? When is that going to happen?
Romers can all go to hell.
Oh,
Death to rumors.
I think Lambda deserves one.
Yeah, well, Lambda certainly had Amber's number there on multiple occasions. Just getting the forces when he needed to, when Max just wasn't quite able to hold his Ubers there in that final map of the set, which is very, very unfortunate to see. I'd like to now go to Spartan. Actually, yes. Spartan. Interesting games from you. You know, sort of just chilling there on the side, just doing your thing. How was the game for you, and from your perspective of things?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously very slow, so a lot of sacking going on, a lot of off class and everything like that. Really, just trying to make anything work. Really. I mean, like when you slow it down that much, I mean, sacking it gets quite tough. So, just trying to do as much as I possibly could.
Yeah, certainly hard to really make anything happen from if the game is going that slow. Certainly very hard to force a medic as experienced as Max, who's also here in the interview room. I'll go on to Max. Max, you had some incredible holds through the first two maps of the set, but it sort of seemed to fall apart on Snakewater. So was it just fatigue or what happened there? And it didn't come through when it counted, but you certainly had some amazing plays to keep Chicken in it, both on Sunshine and on Process. So props to you for that. But what happened on Snakewater?
Yeah, well, I was just bored, man. That was fucking AIDS. Like, it was so, yeah, that was so awful. That entire experience. But Snakewater was the worst.
I might just say though, before you get too down in the dumps, bro, I had to blow you a little, like, in the middle of the cast, because it was just like another stat that is required on these logs, aside from like Uber's forced, would be like distance fucking flown, dude, because you would just like every rocket that came at you, you would just take it and be like, oh cool, I can ride this to the other side of the map, man, don't worry. It was like really incredible.
Yeah, I don't know, the one on Snakewater where I just flew across the last, that was fucking fun. I thought I was gonna die, but it was pretty like fun when stuff like that happens.
For sure, man. One other person that I might talk to. Oh no, I thought they were here, but they are not. So I don't know. I think with Colin Cancer, I mean, you guys are coming off a pretty hard fought win here. What do you think your odds are in the finals against Terrible Tactics?
I don't know. I think we just need to not beef our map picks. I don't know.
Is that in reference to this set at all, Default?
No, it was a reference to our absolutely horrendous map picks in the first week of playoffs. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it is possible as long as like we're all on point and we get the right maps in. Banned and picked.
It's definitely good stuff. And with the chicken fellas, I mean, look, congratulations, I have to say. Third place in main is definitely a good spot for a chicken roster, I think.
Is that a first?
No, we've got that before.
I don't believe you, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, right,
Get the girl out of here. Get her out of
Oh
here.
my god.
Like,
I don't know.
think...
It would have been first place if Liz wasn't off smoking kid all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, one question for the director in chief of the chicken roster, Liz herself. Liz, how are you feeling after that performance from your team tonight? Because even though you didn't come out on top, there were 3 very, very close games that could have gone either way. All 3 maps, either way, it could have gone either way. I'm sure that everyone in here can agree with me on that. That there were 3 very, very close, very tooth and nail games, as it were. So, how do you feel that your roster did, and what are the plans going into season 30?
Well, I feel like we did really well because last time we played Colon Cancer, we got kind of poopied on. So it was definitely an improvement from how we did last time. But yeah, going forward, every single person apart from me is cut. Actually, no, I'm cut too. Chicken reborn next season. It's just egg, but like with no second G.
Well, I think it's more of a phoenix than a chicken then. But thank you for that. And now moving on to shout outs. So we'll just go down the list. Default, any shout outs you'd like to give before we close out the stream?
Yeah, shout out to Kowski for murking and like playing scrims the days leading up to this official. And then yeah, just shout out to my team and Juice, whose computer is currently destroyed.
All right, Liz, anything?
Shout out to Decap, shout out to Chicken, shout out to Joel and Eels for playing on short notice.
Sorry,
Yeah.
can you repeat that?
Shut up, Matt.
Sorry, well, I didn't hear that.
That's the end of my shout outs.
Jazz is sick of it.
Huffy,
Oh,
what have you got?
Shout out to all the Chicken
shout out to
boys
Mel.
and Chikara. I'd also like to make an announcement. Chicken is now becoming an org with Liz as the meth head dictator.
Thank you.
Sweet stuff.
Shout outs both teams. Good game. Shout out Mikcow and Snazzy as always. Best in the business right here, boys. Shout outs to anybody who watched from the front page. And everybody else I normally shout out. Also my girlfriend and my dad. That's it.
All right,
Jesus,
Lander.
And shout out to my bladder for really holding in there, buddy. Real proud of you. 2.5
Yeah.
hours. I guess my mum and my dog, but not my other dog. He can fuck off.
True.
All right, Max. Shout outs.
Shout out to Saturn, to Joel for being the reason we lost tonight. Shout out to Liz, and shout out to Stigma for ruining the Discord.
Okay, noted. Shout out to the old Plan Z boys. Shout out to Jazz, Snazzy, both teams here, and of course, CappingTV and ozfortress for this incredible game, this incredible opportunity to watch such a closely fought game. Snazzy, anything from you?
Yeah, just a couple quick ones. Shout out to both of these teams for playing. That was actually a really good game to watch, despite how sort of stalemate it was. Of course, shout out to you there, Mikcow, and Jazz, as always, for putting in the time and effort to produce for us. And most of all, shout out to the viewers. Shout out to the viewers. Thanks for tuning in, fellas. And just one final thing, the towns of Wodonga and Swan Hill, champions.
And last but certainly not least, Spot, anyone you'd like to shout out before we get things going?
Definitely a shout out to Jazz for putting on these things. It's really awesome. Shout out to all the intellectual powerhouses, my boys, Lugnuts, Crud, Wang, Luna, all them lot. Shout out to Kowski for murking. It was really awesome. Shout out to my dad, Sam Hyde, and the Dyson marketing team. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is unfortunately all the time we have for this broadcast before we go and raid someone. Thank you for tuning in to CappingTV's coverage of the ozfortress Season 29 main lower page finals. And once again, congratulations to Colon Cancer for taking this game and advancing next week to the grand finals. And be sure to tune in to our next game, which is this Friday at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, where we'll be covering the Open Division semi-finals, which should be quite the game as well. So this has been Mikcow. Alongside me has been Snazzy in the casting booth with me, and Just Jazz on production. And we will see you on Friday for that incredible game. Thanks for watching, guys.